That was fast.
Yeah, no.
We're on.
Check one. Are we live? We're live.
We are
We're
live.
live.
What's good?
Welcome back to the Graybeard Podcast, and thank you for stopping in. Thank you for listening to the audio, and thank you for watching the video. We appreciate it on our little tiny YouTube channel here. With me tonight is someone he's a veteran of the Graybeard Podcast, of the GBP. That was for Russell. He wants me to start calling it the GBP.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm not into that. But at any rate, let me introduce Elliott Warner.
Oh yeah, I got a hand claps. And
Yeah, you can't hear it because you didn't want to wear the headphones.
I have too much hair for headphones now. Like, it's been a minute since I've been on there, and it's just gotten even more and more untamed. All right.
I'm glad you're letting it rock, though.
Well, okay. First of all, the dreads that I had, the little to the side, the Killmonger thing, it was too hot for that.
Okay.
It was getting too much to maintain and everything. And I was just like, and the way I just started cutting at the tufts and all that. Well, actually, what really set me off is I asked somebody to retwist it, and usually my twists were like, $150, $160, and then she said it's gonna be, I think it was like $310. And I was like, nah, this ain't worth it. This ain't it. And so
just shave my head.
Well, I didn't want to shave because I'm old now. I'm old as hell, and I
If
knew
you're old as hell, then what the hell does that make me?
Old as fuck.
in first place. I'm in good second.
Thanks.
So I just started cutting off at the little tufts and everything like that, and now I just clean up the sides, fix my mustache, face, and everything, and we'll see where it goes from there.
Well, you're looking sharp.
I try.
I'm growing mine all back out, all of it.
Gotcha. So long hair Jim is back.
Well, he will be back.
Okay.
We're not there yet.
All right. Rockstar Jim.
Yeah. Well, before it was long hair just on the top, and I was doing that shaved surfer cut underneath, thing. And now it's like I'm just growing it all.
You
out.
you play guitar, right?
Oh my God!
You don't?
No. Drums.
Close enough.
Yeah. Not really.
Good. No.
Not really.
No. Okay, listen. I play bass, and you play drums, and then we need a guitarist.
Well, I need a set of drums.
Okay.
That's the problem. I gave my set and cymbals, which was probably well worth at least $1,500. I gave it to my ex-business partner.
As a gift, or just like?
Kind of.
All right.
I didn't think things would end out the way they did. So
I understand. I understand. Well, that's why we're gonna get some sponsors and everything like that.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna get you. When's your birthday?
I don't know. I'm so old. I forgot.
Is it can you at least tell us, the audience, what month it is? That way we can start doing a GoFundMe, get Jim some drums again.
It starts with the first.
The first. Okay. Got it. January. I'm going to assume it's January. Okay. So we're going to do a GoFundMe for Jim.
Oh, dear Jesus. Don't ever do a GoFundMe. GoFundMe.
Get Jim some drums.
If you want to do anything at all, go to wherever you get your podcasts and click on the little link that says support the show.
Okay.
You can donate there.
So audience, if you're listening on YouTube, first subscribe. You need to do that. And then if you get your podcast through Spotify, make sure you support the show through there. And also, you do Apple Podcasts too, right?
It's on every
platform.
Player.
I'm asking you all to do that now. Support the show, especially because I want to continue to come on there, and we'll just have a great time. All right, great.
Or if you have an old set of drums and cymbals that you want to unload, I'll take them.
And if you donate a set of drums, he will demo his drumming skills live on the Graybeard Podcast.
I don't know about that. We don't have enough space for that. They'll get crazy.
We can make space.
Gotcha.
We can make space.
As the producer of the show, we can make space.
I would love to see.
What I would probably use any money that was donated to me for, it would be finishing this space out and decorating it.
Okay.
It's starting to get to the point where I'm frustrated.
You have upgraded a lot.
Yeah, there's a lot of shit going on in here.
Man, look,
sure.
First of all, the lighting is outstanding.
It's better.
Yes. Don't have that shine on my forehead. I can tell.
No, I had that one. I bought another one, and then I got the globe.
I'm in 8K right now.
Yeah, you're looking good.
I'm looking great. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Plus, before we had like the very first one you did, the background. It was like half red, half black.
Right. And I kept moving, and so I kept like sitting like weird colors and all that. I still had a great
yeah,
time.
and I was like, let me put some color on you.
Right.
Like that was bad, very bad. Okay, there's a little color on you now. That's just from the TV and the on-air sign. But
Gotcha.
yeah, I'm always trying to mess with the look of it, and eventually we'll get it nailed down, and then I'll change it again.
Now, with every show, I always do the same thing. You bring people on the show to interview, but I always ask you, Jim, how are you doing? Well, as you're drinking coffee.
I'm great.
Good. I'm glad to hear.
I couldn't be any better. Can I just say my beautiful son-in-law hooked me up. If you haven't seen the new Deadpool
Fucking go
coffee,
see
I'm seeing it tomorrow.
coffee, popcorn dispenser. This is it, or this is one of the versions. But it's actually, you put your popcorn back here, and then the drink goes here on the top. So it's like all in one. I don't know how you get the popcorn.
There's a straw that goes with it as well.
Is it like open or something?
I think you push.
Or you just open it from the back and eat it from the back?
There's a button on the side right there. Other side.
Is that it right there?
Yeah, right there, I think.
Side button there?
Maybe.
It's all taped. Everything's taped.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, let's not break it before you.
I know. I don't want to break it.
Matter of fact, don't even use it. That's a collectible right there.
Since he and I are going to be sharing custody of baby Deadpool.
Yeah, baby Deadpool.
I
that
just
thing will be in two pieces.
Take care of this thing. Yeah, I know. Liam will get a hold of it.
Yep.
That's hilarious. Baby Deadpool. I actually thought about getting Alana's. She's got like an old wig holder. It's like a head. It's a bust of a head,
okay.
And it's on like a little tripod.
Right.
And I was going to get that and put my Deadpool mask on it and make Headpool.
That'll actually be legit.
I didn't see the movie yet.
Okay. Yeah, I'm seeing it tomorrow.
I'm probably going to wait till this weekend. Maybe,
right.
I might wait till the following
Better
weekend.
invite Gabby.
Huh?
Better invite Gabby.
I will. Well, that's kind of, I'm trying to wait till everybody's like all together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We're just going to roll up on the place like a gang. I mean, that bought their tickets and seats in advance.
Responsibly.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm excited about it. But of course, as much as Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman have said, please no spoilers, I'm sure you've seen that shit.
Listen, I've avoided Facebook, but for reasons not 100% related to that movie.
Right.
But so
I've avoided a lot of social media.
I don't get the like I said, my job. I don't get the luxury of turning off social media and everything. But I get to. I do get to dictate the time I get to spend on it. Facebook, outside of my client work, I don't need to spend too much time on it. So I just do what I'm supposed to do for my clients and then my own business and everything like that. And plus now, I'll be honest, the only real social media I daily interact with, and when I say interact is, both posting content and consuming content, is Instagram. Mm-hmm. TikTok I just consume.
Instagram makes my stomach turn.
My only issue with Instagram right now is I miss the Instagram when it was just about people posting pictures and art and not worrying about the algorithm.
Yeah, that's all anybody's worried about.
Everybody's worried about algorithm. Following trends, going viral and everything, and not doing stuff organically. And I work in the industry where, again, as far as marketing is concerned, you follow trends to create views and eyes for your business and all that, and so. And there's a part of me that just missed when I just posted something on Instagram. It went to my friends in my local group would comment and talk about it or have discussions about it, and then it just moved on. And now it's that Instagram's talking about, well, your content's not relevant to your friend group, or it's not. Or it's not relevant to people outside of your media audience, or having to do all kinds of things. Make sure your quality settings are up so the Instagram doesn't compress everything down to where it's like what you initially shot with your camera, speaking for photography, isn't bastardized by the compression system.
Yeah.
It's remember when Threads came out and I was doing all those stress tests with it just to see what But that's the thing, and I stopped doing that largely because, a new social media platform came out, and the first thing I'm thinking about is experimenting on the most effective ways of gaining an audience and posting content rather than just, hey, I saw this interesting thing, and I put it out there just because I liked it.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, you being someone who's in, like, social media and marketing and stuff, like working with clients and everything that are in that realm.
Right.
I get that you have to kind of keep your finger on the pulse of what's happening with the algorithm and all that shit. But honestly, that's what drives me away from things like that. Call me old. Mm-hmm. I don't fucking care. I honestly, and like I told you earlier, I'm like happier. Mm-hmm. I'll go on there. I give myself 10 minutes to go through social media.
Right.
and that's including Facebook, X, and Instagram. I check them all, and I'm out. And if I don't something about, I don't know. Like I said, I'm joking, but kind of, but not. When I said that, like, Instagram gives me the heebie-jeebies.
Right. And I can understand why it can't.
It's just like when you scroll, you see the same fucking shit.
Right.
And I get it, man. Everybody wants to be fucking famous.
Right.
I get it. And some would say that, well, I'm a hypocrite for saying that because I have a fucking podcast and I put my stupid, ugly face out, on the airwaves for everybody to see once a week. But I don't want this podcast to be about me.
Mm-hmm. It's going to be about me.
I want it, whoever's sitting in that chair,
right.
I want it to be about them.
Right. The thing is like there's a lot of, and I've not just talking necessarily deal this with my clients, but largely because I used to get involved with a lot of influencer coaching or, brand strategies with them, is that they're all focused on going viral as opposed to creating an organic audience with their own content of their own brand. And what ends up happening is you have especially when people go viral for, some asinine reasons.
And then you get locked into that.
Right. Let's talk about, like, for example, we're watching a modern day depiction of that with the Hawk Tuah girl.
Right.
She made that one thing.
But she's kind of doing it right. I mean, if you look at it.
You have to educate me on how she's doing it right, because I saw her that one time. I see somebody with no media training, doing these interviews. Trying to, I guess, demystify her life because everybody's interested in what she's doing and, has a viral phrase and everything like that. And then having no other brand strategy around that. So she's getting up on stage and she's doing the whole Hawk Tuah thing, and people in the crowd for concerts and stuff like that are not even, cheering or just...
Yeah, that was one concert. I saw that.
Yeah.
She got up there and she did her thing or whatever. But... like the one concert that she went to, she just sang with the artist, and everybody was going ape shit.
So
but her thing is this. Like, I mean, as far as I know, from what I've seen, the 10 minutes that I spend on all my socials,
right,
is that like people were just, if they don't know, and there's gaps, people just randomly fill in the gaps.
You fill in the gaps of whatever,
and
yeah.
They were making shit up.
Like, oh, yeah, she's a teacher, got fired,
right,
all that kind of stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
She's like, dude, I've never worked. She worked at a spring factory. She's like, I quit my job.
Listen, people will insert things to fit the narrative and all that just to make it a story. The truth can be so boring.
Yeah. And it probably is.
And that's what happens. People like, oh, wait, that was the reality. And the simplest answer, most of the time, ignoring the nuance that goes into more complicated issues, is often the most accurate one.
The problem I have is the fact that people want the thing that's not real. And the fact that she's being real on her socials, like when people are just inviting her on their podcasts and on the radio and on whatever. They're just inviting her.
Yeah.
She didn't ask for that.
Yeah.
Trying to get a little bit of that Hawk Tuah.
I'm just saying.
But have you watched
the point I'm trying to make, though, is the fact that, like, people are making her out to be something, and she's just rolling with it. But because she's being genuine and honest, it kind of defeats the purpose of everything that social media stands for now, because people don't want it. And people now they're telling her, your 15 minutes are up. And you know what? She's laughing at him. She's like, I don't give a fuck. I never wanted any of this.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? And so if you are putting on airs, you're putting on show for people, and it's not really you, who the fuck are you? And why are you putting that shit on social media? Like, if people can't like you for who you are, you shouldn't probably be doing the thing. Well, that's just my humble opinion.
No, and that's fine. I don't want people to most people in general use social media as their highlight reel. They show the best moments of their life and things that, because you have that time to curate whatever image and all that kind of stuff that you broadcast to thousands of people and all that kind of stuff. And if you want to use social media in that way, it's fine. If you want to give every person every day to day, the raw and gritty of it, that's also fine too. What I discourage people is saying, well, I'm posting, I'm not like all these other people. I'm posting everything that's, just the raw and gritty about my life, no filters, 100% authentic, and then being upset that they're not getting, the momentum or audience or traction they're looking for.
You can't get upset, but that's exactly why I felt it was fake. I felt like everything on there is fake, and I get it, but like you said, when the thing first came out, it was just supposed to be fun. People were posting pictures that were fun. It was supposed to be instant pictures, Instagram, just fun.
Yeah.
And now it's like when they added the monetization to it, it got wacky. People start doing things to like game the system and this and that. And now they're just like, you don't even know who you are anymore.
And the problem is, it's an issue for Instagram in the sense that they have to put in safeguards to prevent people just trying to game the system, which ends up punishing not necessarily the people who've already established themselves. Yeah, the top creators may lose. Like I said, if they got $1,000 off a post, maybe they only get like, I don't know, from sponsorships or whatever. They may drop down to like $700 worth of posts, but it really hurts the lower end creators, small creators who that $20 or $30 that they would have gotten from their, from things or content being residually monetized. Now dips down to like the $5 or $6 or 15 cents. That's the difference between some people. My gas is paid for this week versus now I can barely, and I can't even afford a meal at McDonald's because you've had so many people just try to abuse. Oh, this is the way to go viral. Use these trending sounds to go viral. Instagram sees that. Well, now we got to put safeguards or limit what is the threshold of something that gets pushed out to a wider audience, and then shorten, or what people call it getting shadow banned. There's a lot going on with that, and sorry, I'm rambling for a little bit.
No, you're good. Go ahead.
And so
I like
it. Gotcha. So if I were able to coach people, yes, it's okay to follow trends. But if what you want to do is build a brand and find your, like with any business, find your ideal client, find your ideal, consumer of your content, and then, like I said, build that image of that audience. And since this is for only people who are literally trying to build, say, a commercial or a creator brand, build your audience around, build your content around that. And this we can get into whole logistics about retention and all that kind of stuff. But now we've transformed this into a Instagram coach, social media podcast.
Yeah, no, and that's fine. And have you ever seen the documentary called The Social Dilemma?
I have not. I haven't seen that one.
You should watch it.
Okay, I'm going to check that out.
I watched it. It's a lot of things I already knew.
Mm-hmm.
You seen it, Pat?
I have not seen it yet, no, but I've heard of it.
Okay. It's a lot of things I already knew with some newer things that I didn't know.
Mm-hmm.
And people don't think about all the time. The fact that all of these apps, everything, websites, apps, you name it.
Mm-hmm.
They literally, the algorithm is you.
Yeah.
And what I mean by that
as
is
in you're the content.
They want to create junkies,
mm-hmm.
and we are fucking junkies for these apps and for these phones and for the all this. Gimme. The human mind is not made to take this much information in at once. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So like, I feel like as long as you are aware that, again, this is, I guess, dips down in, like, say, media literacy. If you're aware that a healthy sense of skepticism on the stuff that you see online, you're aware that, hey,
but what percentage of people actually have that?
I guess.
Just guess.
You know what? I wish I could, but in respect
I'd say it's probably 1%.
See, and that's the thing. I don't want to be quoted as like being wrong or whatever.
No, I don't care. I'm just a fucking moron podcaster. I don't have to be right.
Right. For me, it's just like, I'm just going to say, hey, listen, if honing your ability from, again, media literacy, being skeptical of some of the stuff that you see, healthy skepticism. Don't need to dismiss everything. There's some stuff that is objectively true that I don't know. I'm just saying, I'm getting in trouble. The world is round, stuff like that, right?
Who cares if you get? Are you worried about getting canceled? I thought they were done with that.
Oh no, people.
The
still
cancelers are eating themselves.
But I guess I bring stuff up like to say that, I'm gonna repeat myself. Questioning stuff,
Yeah.
healthy objectivism.
He went over these notes
Check-
before we started, guys.
Yeah, checking over, viewing your sources, and understanding, like, say, hey, questioning, hey, is there a story, narrative that is insisting on being pushed, and that's okay if that is, if it aligns with your viewpoint, that's fine. If it doesn't, why is that so, and then just understanding that when it's on social media that you are the product, because the content, the product, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, they don't exist unless people put that content on there for people to consume.
Right.
If you understand that, I think you can have, if you need to manage how much you're on those platforms healthily, you can use it as it's supposed to be something you enjoy. You can use it as a way to operate in a healthy and enjoy. Like I said, I enjoy social media largely because I guess I have those things in mind.
And I hear what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
In a perfect world,
Okay.
a crackhead sitting next to a bag of crack won't smoke that shit.
No,
I'm just telling you though, it's a real thing. We are fucking addicted to these phones. And when I put mine down,
Mm-hmm.
and I've spent way less time on my phone,
Mm-hmm.
and I've actually been like, I feel like you're like swam underwater in a pool with your fucking eyes open,
Okay,
and it
yeah.
burns
Yeah.
when you come out, and you're
Mhm.
like, oh shit, and then you like close your eyes for a little bit, and then you open them and you can see better, and everything's like hazy, but you can see. It's kind of like that,
Right,
And
right.
I started, and then everything kind of focused and became clear. I'm like, but the problem is everyone else around me is now, when I look at them and I want to talk to them, they're like this, or they're on their iPads or something. Everybody's consumed, and I'm not saying I'm completely off the juice,
Right.
but I'm trying my hardest to stay the hell away from it as much as possible.
Right. I think and listen, I don't need to coach you or anything because you're a grown man.
We're just having a conversation, man.
I think
We can talk about this.
you should.
A lot of people are afraid to talk about these things. 'Cause
No.
afraid they'll say something wrong, and then their group will. You're a fucking whatever.
I'm not scared of controversy. But I also
I'll never see it.
No. Like I said, I do not mind conflict. I'm in my views and all that kind of stuff, and I'm not scared to defend my positions.
Right.
But going back in the sense of social media, and said you surround yourself with people that are addicted. Yes, the apps, their platforms, they're made to be, to constantly be addicted because they're to funnel content that engages you,
Mm-hmm.
that is locked into your interests, and it's also to be the most. They're supposed to try to send you the best of or most captivating content that locks y'all into.
Do you keep your notifications on for all your socials?
I don't have a choice. Remember, I manage a lot of my clients, for social media. Like I said, I brought only one phone today, but I'm usually carrying two.
Well, that's. And you're dealing with you're looking at things from a completely different spectrum.
That's fine. Yeah,
I'm looking at it from a consumer. You're looking at it from someone who is a creator.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm a creator too, but like if you've noticed, I don't know if you've noticed, if you've been on, if you've looked at all, but I have not been posting clips from any of my podcasts that I've had probably in 2 months. I can't remember the last clip.
You're gonna post this one, right? Can you post this
Maybe
one?
2 or 3.
If I feel like it, I don't know.
All right, I get it.
I'm
Can I do a sponsored ad?
I'll post I'll post the link. I'll send you the full video.
All right, I gotcha.
And you can clip the shit out of it.
I'll do that.
And then just you can do the thing,
do
whatever, But the MMA fighter we had on the other day, Yasuke,
Yeah.
he did one, and he's did the, what do you call it? Where you Anyways, he connected to my page. The collaboration.
Collaboration.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Jesus.
It's only on his shirt.
You know what the
man.
problem is? I'm not wearing headphones.
Yeah, it's like I said,
All Elliott's fault.
I literally have like the collab on my shirt and everything like
I
that.
know.
Shout out to you guys,
Yeah.
and all that. So
They've gotten a lot of free press from me.
yeah, but listen, I appreciate it because I've benefited so much from them. John, Jit,
I
Ray,
love
and
those guys.
all those guys and everything like that.
I love everybody over there. I
Yeah,
love
yeah.
all of them. The models, the guys that own the shop.
And there's a lot of
everybody.
changes going on there too.
Yeah, I'm sure.
You
But I can't. If I'm focused on what everyone else is doing, I'm
Yeah.
not focused on what I'm doing.
Well, yeah, and that's the thing. I wish you told me a lot more. What's going on? What you're doing. I want to wake up and see. What's Jim's project? First of all, We need another
Coffee.
No, not a coffee. But what was that picture we called the Jim Cologne picture that you had, like the Jim album cover picture, the black and white,
Oh,
you in the half
Jesus
half shadow
in the
face.
shower.
Yeah, that one. Let's get one of those. All right.
My fake Dior picture.
Yes. I
No.
listen. I want to support.
I think
stuff.
I deleted those.
No, I want to support stuff like that for you, Jim.
That's strictly
That's-
me being bored.
That's prime gray beard right there.
That's me being bored and not having anything to shoot. So
Okay.
I'm just like, well, I'll just take a picture. I've really wanted to use. I've been wanting to use my because we've got these fancy new bathrooms that are like hotel looking.
Okay.
And I'm like, shit.
I'm
I
gonna
want to
use.
do.
I'm gonna use it before I leave.
Yeah. And I'm like, shit. I want to. The one you're going to use is the kids' bathroom. They've already fucked it up. But I mean, it's not like broken or anything. But it's just kids.
Yeah.
Especially girls. There's makeup everywhere.
I
and-
gotcha.
Anyways, but yeah, I was just like, I've been wanting to do a shoot in there. I'm like, this will be really nice. And then I got to the point where I'm like, I don't want to work with anybody anymore, like ever. I just want to do my little thing. I had somebody hit me up to take pictures of their dog.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, dope, let's go.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
love dogs. I was like, I'm going to start a dog photography business. That's what I'm going to do.
There's a market for it.
I don't want to do that.
But are you like, I don't know, man. As soon as somebody brings up an idea and I'm thinking
Yeah.
about trying to make
You
some
go a
money,
million miles an hour.
I'm ready to cash in.
You
man.
are a Tesla flooring the gas pedal
Listen,
or the electric
I like
pedal.
nice stuff. All right, I'm
Just
not ashamed about
goes.
it. I
don't like nice stuff.
Like I said. First of all, being, and I don't want to say being poor, just being.
I'm poor.
You're doing much better than I am right now, so you're doing pretty good.
Yeah.
So
If
like
you
I said,
really knew.
yeah, I'm just saying there's levels to this, and then I'm just trying and I'm not trying to look at a competition as I'm trying to beat
Yeah,
people
yeah,
and
yeah.
everything like that. This is all aspirational for me. So
Yeah.
when somebody gives me an idea
Everybody's
like, yo,
got to have goals.
right, if this is how we're gonna make some money, I'm ready to clock in.
Yeah.
Because I don't like looking at something and not having the option to get it. That's the thing what money does. It gives you options. Like,
100%.
yeah, and
if I didn't have to worry about bills anymore,
you're right.
that would be great.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I do, and and I'm fine with that.
Mm-hmm.
At my age, I have kind of and I like I've switched careers.
Okay.
My day job has switched. I worked for a company for 21 years. And I had to leave there because it was literally stressing me to the hospital. Like I was,
Sorry.
they were close to putting me on like fucking blood thinners and shit. I was, I thought I was gonna have a fucking stroke.
Right. Well, I mean, I don't want you to have a stroke. But
No, I didn't. And I got my health got better, and I dropped about what was it? Maybe
Shit, like 100 pounds?
170 something pounds.
Man,
Yeah,
I need to
shit.
listen. I need.
Oh, no, it was
I
my-
need to lose weight.
I got divorced.
No.
That was a rim shot.
That'll shut.
You caught me with that one. I was
gonna-
like, oh
yeah,
man.
no, I mean, but when I did though,
Uh-huh.
it's so weird because like when I got rid of, when I say got rid of, I was actually pushed out of that situation. But when that happened, I started thinking about myself. I started taking care of my health, going to the doctor, getting my physicals done, working out, eating better, and then I started doing things for myself. I got an apartment. I had nothing to put in the apartment, so
Right.
I found a way to buy furniture. And
Right.
you just kind of build things up. And then eventually I was able to buy this house. It ain't much, but it's mine.
Right.
And just recently was able to do a remodel, which was super nice.
Yeah, it looks nice when I walked in here.
It just makes it feel better. But it's a progression over time. And what I was trying to say is at this point in my life, like I've come to the realization that I'm going to work forever. Like I used to have this like dream
Or, like,
about
retiring.
retiring
Gotcha.
and being an old man wearing loafers and pulling my pastel blue pants up to
Okay.
under my titties and going to play golf somewhere. I don't even play golf.
day.
Yeah, "Hey, get off my grass." But yeah, you know what I mean. But like that's gone, and where it went to was this. I want to do this until I'm old and senile. Until I don't,
So till tomorrow.
You're pretty close.
I
Hit him with
you know
that
what I'm
rim shot.
saying?
Sorry, was that too loud in the mic?
No,
My
you're
Oh,
good,
no.
buddy. You're good.
fault. Yeah,
That's
But
perfect.
yeah, I want to do this forever, and even if it's just for fun,
Yeah.
even if I have to work, and I work in 50 to 55 hours a week
Mm.
at my day job. And this is like the best part of my week, getting to sit down with somebody. Even if these mics were not hot, if we were not live,
Yeah.
I would love to invite a friend, whether it's you or any other friend. Problem is, most people won't come over and just hang out with me if I ask them to, unless there's something going on.
Well, now listen, Jim, you.
I mean,
me,
you would. Yeah,
I drive.
I said most people.
Most people. Yeah. Well, listen, I want to set the example and straight into the camera as I do this, guys. This is a great, outstanding, distinguished gentleman that you all need to hang out with, and I encourage everybody not just to come out to the podcast, but just to have coffee with Jim. He's going to enlighten you.
Don't even say that.
He's going to enlighten you. He's going to give you.
You're going to invoke Russell.
He's going to have great conversations with you. You're going to walk out every time you visit the person. You're going to come out different. Maybe sometimes traumatized. Maybe no,
I don't know. That's,
no.
yeah,
You're fine. You're fine. You're going to be. Everybody is going to be great. And like I said, first of all, we've known each other more than a year now.
Yeah.
And
Not longer than that.
yeah, longer than that. And I just, like I said, I'm always excited to when I see you at Collab, just at random projects that we do, and also just to come out here on this podcast.
I had a great time. Like the time you had me model for you, that I didn't care at all about the modeling part.
But it was
Couldn't
fun.
give a shit less. I just want to hang out.
Yeah.
And that's my thing. I love talking.
I never
to
gave you
people.
that hat, did I?
I don't give a fuck.
Okay, I should have brought.
Let's worry about the hat and them shades. That's all I want. Although I wear these glasses, they turn into shades. I don't.
Okay.
I got these that I bought, and
All
I keep them in here, and sometimes I'll wear them on the show.
Oh, these are time and place.
Yeah, I think those are the Jesse Skies.
Jesse
Shout out
Skies.
Time Place.
Oh,
Shout out.
Let me get the thumbnail. Get ready for that. For free advertisement. Oh man. Oh, these do not fit.
They're
my
dark.
Face. And
They're
do they fit on my face?
Yeah, they look good.
They look good,
I
man.
can't even see myself, but I'm just gonna assume
They're
I look
very
solid.
dark.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And they're okay. But anyway, thanks for time and place for sponsoring this video. Not really, but we're gonna pretend.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if they that would make me happy. Is if a local business like Time Place or anybody, if they wanted to sponsor even just an episode.
Well, you're about to get a free ad buy because we're about to send a check to you. This episode's been sponsored by the Jack's Fashion Experience.
Yeah, don't send no check.
Yeah. And anybody if you're watching this podcast, and as we send out, invites and everything like that, the Jack's Fashion Experience will be at the Casa Marina Hotel on August 16th. We look forward to seeing you there. And if you buy your ticket now with the free promo code of Graybeard, just GREBERAD.
How about just GBP?
No, because I've already made the promo code Graybeard. You will get 20% off on your ticket. Proofs. So we'll
Serious?
see you. Yeah, I've already. Listen, I was prepared, Jim.
Okay.
And we can talk
Wow.
about that. Listen, I came out, came out ready to roll.
I see that.
Which, like I said, I hope you'll be able to make it.
I will be there.
Okay, gotcha.
I promised Cam I'd be there.
All right, excellent.
You didn't ask me, but you were busy.
Well, I'm sorry.
You as master of ceremonies,
Uh-huh.
I felt bad for you. I was just looking at you, and I'm like, this dude is like in charge. He's like running,
Everybody.
everything, and Cam's in the back running everything back there, and
Mm-hmm.
it's just like, I couldn't do it. I don't,
No, I am extremely, extremely excited about this show. We did a lot of stuff differently. As you saw, we did open auditions.
Can you talk about the differences from this show to the last one? Or
Yeah. Everything's kosher. Everything's good. It's all that. So the big thing is, when we first did the show, we were individually picking people out. Hey, we were scouting you out. We like for you to be in the show, like your show. Individually going out to brands, music performances, and all that. And we decided to. Well, one of we I guess internally doing a review of how we did the show last time is that there was a lot of work on us on trying to turn people who had never walked runway or never even modeled in general into models. And I 100% am so proud of how we delivered that first show, and how we watched those people grow into like I said, when you saw the show, nobody could. So you looked at some of those models. There was no way somebody said, "Oh, this person's never modeled before. This person never walked a runway before." Because throughout training, everybody was spectacular. But we decided to do things a little different as we did an open casting. And we thought we're just going to get a lot of people from, the previous shows just to come back into it. And we did get a lot. But it's also, we had up to 91 applicants just from sending pictures, sending emails, sending videos, coming into the 2 days that we did the auditions. And we had to drop that down from 91. We had to drop it down to 30 to be in the show.
Wow.
And the problem is there were so few people who auditioned that said that, first you go through the thing, you'd be like, oh, this is 100% no, and this is 100% yes. There were, and I'm gonna say barely anybody, honestly nobody that was in the like, oh yeah, you absolutely cannot be in the show. Everybody that auditioned gave us hard choices, and so we had to drop it down to was this person, we watched footage, hours of footage, brought the team around. We had to vote on people that we picked. We interviewed people, gave up their stories about why they wanted to be a part of the show. Some it stood out really significantly to me. I'm going to give a shout out to Amber Lowry when she told me her story. And then when I saw her audition, I was like, there's no good reason why I could say why you can't be in the show. I don't have one. There's this guy, Troy. I saw him walk, and I was like, listen, I will fight to have this gentleman in my show, because when I saw him walk, I was like, this is the kind of character, the poise, the elegance that I wanted to see. Seeing Zyrie come back for us and everything like that, I wanted her energy. And I can just keep going on and on about all the people that came out there. Shout out to Nay, Shania.
You said there's 31 people?
Yeah. So, and
shout out to all of you.
All of y'all. Yes.
We'll just group it like that.
Yeah, I'm not going to go through all that. But some people that I wanted to definitely
some
say their
people
name.
stood out.
Yes, and make I know we're going to get past, but I want to say Makaira, when she started with us, coach, somebody who just took all the feedback and transformed into such a stunning young lady, stunning model. She's going to go places, and I feel proud of watching somebody's growth. Just every day she comes to rehearsal, she's just doing something just a little bit incrementally better, and then some not just incrementally, sometimes just leaps, bounds, and better. I just love that we have a platform that builds people up to that, and so that's why I'm just so excited about it, because we made all these Sorry, I'm rambling, but we made all these rehearsal dates. Okay, we're going.
It's your podcast.
Well, in the last show we were doing rehearsals two times a week, 3 days a week, just getting everybody to learn how to walk and pose and know their placements and everything. We've dropped rehearsals down to okay, we have 2 a month, just to style everybody in the clothes and get everybody to walk, because everybody has came, they maximized their time, they have delivered. And it's just, I've said, listen, guys, this summer I want y'all outside, have fun. I don't want y'all coming out to collab or to cast to learn how to walk and pose and everything like that. You guys have killed it. Y'all have, saved us so much time. And so that's why I'm really confident to show the talent that we got there. Shout out to Luna for, like I said, bringing her talent and everything. It's you can tell I'm enthusiastic about
Yeah, I
this.
can tell.
Yeah,
You're
so
fired up.
I'm extremely fired up. And we have it at Casa Marina. Think about it. Look at where we came. We went from collab, which collab is a great place.
Mm-hmm.
We went from collab to doing a show at the Library of Jacksonville.
Was that the Yelp thing?
The Yelp thing, yeah. And then now we bought out Casa Marina. So we have pretty much the whole access to this place outside from the hotel rooms. We ain't knocking in hotel rooms doing shows in there and anything like that. Got the choreography, we got fire spinning, we got a bar, and that's the thing. Now we got to top that. So I'm looking forward to what's coming for the Jax Factor experience. I thought the fact that we had Mark Jacobs comment on our show, that was going to be the highlight of things going forward. And now that we have so many eyes around Jacksonville, partnering with so many other fashion shows in different cities like Atlanta, Tampa, Orlando, and at the pace that it's been going, it could not have been done without the talent that has gravitated toward us, that we're able to that has so much to put onto the table for us, and that we can also help nurture. The team Cam, Jen, that worked with us and all that to build the Jack's Fashion Experience team, but also more importantly, the people that gives us platforms to let people know about the show and to help boost it up. Again, your photography from so many other like Sophie, Barry. Oof. I need the amount of times I've used Barry's stuff for marketing materials, but he's giving us props for it. But listen, I'm waiting for Barry to say, "Hey man, I'm gonna send you a commercial license or whatever." And I'll be honest, like, you know what, Barry, listen, you've earned it, you deserve it, guy. And vice versa. So to shout out to Tokyo, because that's the reason why we call ourselves the Jack's Fashion Experience, because we want to be more than just fashion. We want people, when they sit down, they see clothes, they see amazing talent, and then they're wowed by the performances that are happening throughout the production. And none of that would not be possible without them.
Right.
So I'm 1,000,000% grateful for that.
And when is that going to be again?
August 16th at the Casa Marina Hotel from 6 to 9. And it may run a little bit over. Also, I'm celebrating my birthday there.
Okay.
So
we know you like to do it big.
Yeah, I like to do it big. Like I said, it's a race. I'm trying to catch up to you, my guy.
It's not a race, bro. Trust me.
It's man. It's
That's like speeding up at a red light.
You ever heard the? Never mind. I was going to tell the joke about the older bull and the younger bull at the top of the mountain.
Did you want to talk? I mean, I'm listening.
Have you ever heard that joke?
I have not. I'm ready to laugh. Let's go.
Well,
you got the good delivery.
The older bull and the younger bull are standing next to each other, and this is going to be a little, rated R. But in the name of Deadpool, we're going to go for it.
All right, go for it.
But yeah, they're standing at the top of the hill and they're looking down at this valley with a whole bunch of cows, females.
Mm-hmm.
And the young bull looks at the older bull and goes, "Man, let's run down there and fuck. Let's fuck one of those cows." And the old bull goes, "Let's walk down there and fuck them all." 'Cause sometimes you ain't got to run, brother.
Just go there.
Yeah, I fucked up the punchline on that,
okay.
but you get the point.
No, I kind of like that.
With age and comes wisdom. Not that I'm trying to fuck all the cows.
No. I don't know. As somebody who's turning 36, it's weird to me. First of all, I'm just happy that I made it to this age and everything, because there's plenty of times where, I'd be like, oh man, I'm just surprised that I even, got there and all that. But, the dynamicism, one, the way I react to stuff is different. I wouldn't say things don't rile me up, because I'm passionate about certain things and all that. But I think I'm in this mindset, and some of the best things that we even say my dad and other people told me is that some things have not earned a reaction out of me. Like whether you're looking at things like politics, or somebody sends you an insult, or some drama happens, and you're just like, okay, cool,
yeah, and
then you just move on about it.
I 100% agree.
Yeah.
I'm the same way, and I like to say it's the Capricorn in me. So if that tells you a little bit more, you were pretty close to the birth date there.
Yeah, gotcha.
But yeah, the Capricorn in me. I don't believe in that, first of all, but I will say everything that I've read, everything that she tells me, because she's way into horoscopes and shit.
I have a confession about horoscopes.
I think it's all hooey, but
listen, I'll
but sometimes these things line up.
Gotcha.
And I get these emails and shit, from these. I guess it's an Instagram page or something, but there's little quotes about Capricorns, like little memes about I was like, yep, that's me. But like, if I feel the slightest tinge of stupidity, drama, whatever the fuck it is, I even from my best friends, I love you, but I'm not getting involved in that because it has zero shit to do with me.
Understood.
And I'll fucking run away because I won't allow I try to teach this to young people. I don't allow other people to like.
Disrupt your peace. Yeah.
Well, when I emote about something that someone said to me, I've given up a little piece of myself, a little piece of power, and I don't want to do that.
No,
that's weak people shit.
And I understand, and that's the thing. Like, and sometimes things fall behind the cracks because you'll hear it and you'll be like, you'll do a head turn, you'll pivot and be like, whoa, what were you talking about? And then you just gotta. You got to relax. What was that saying? Angry people are heard but not listened to. You know, like, yeah, we can hear you from the other side of the room, but nobody's paying any attention to you.
Right.
And you know, that's kind of resonated with me quite a bit. And I that also comes with, you know, the wisdom from experience of just going through stuff. When you have that barometer of like lived experiences where you can compare it to other things that has happened to your life, and you're just like, yeah, okay, this happened, but I'll just get through it. And you know, hopefully I don't go through anything extremely traumatic.
Yeah.
But if it does, I have a wall of character to brace myself. To brace myself with it. And so that's what ends up coming with I guess getting older and all that.
Yeah, because in the past, dude, when I was younger, like when I was like his age, I say his age, I'm talking about you, Pat, or a little bit younger. Like when I was between 21 and 25, I was a fucking hothead.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, I was in a band. I mean, I thought I was hot shit.
Right.
Whatever. If you mouthed off to me, I wouldn't just walk away back then. I might try and bust your ass. You know, I say that a lot of times. You know, you learn humility because you don't always win.
I was, you know, the thing is, I was the opposite of a hothead. This is embarrassing. I was a bit of a crybaby.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I took everything emotionally, so personally, and I'm talking waterworks tears and stuff like that. And this persisted
You're a sensitive man.
Yeah, this persisted well into my 20s and stuff like that. And I took the way people treated me as 100% reflection of who I was and my value and all that kind of stuff. I tried to justify people's behavior as a sense of reflection of, oh, they treated me this bad because I'm worth this, or I'm a piece of crap on this and all that. And admittedly, it took a long time to grow out of that. To not become a professional on making excuses on why people act that way, or why try not to fill in the gaps of what people's behavior. Some people are just great people just because they're great and that's the way they've been taught or raised. And some people are pieces of shit. And there's you don't need to explain that. Or maybe, and the thing is, just because they're a piece of shit to you and they're great to somebody else does not mean you or yourself are any less or anything like that.
No, and you don't. Here's the thing that another lesson that I wished I would have learned long ago, when I used to think I had to defend myself all the time.
Yeah.
Or I would ask what I did wrong, or what is what is your deal? What is going on with you? Are you mad at me? Whatever the fuck it is. And then I realized at some point that, like, other people's emotions are not my fucking problem.
Right.
And it's a tough lesson to learn. And it's what's even tougher is like putting it into motion.
Yeah.
Actually applying that to your life. And it's not that you're trying to be a dick or cruel, but you don't owe anybody anything. Anyone.
Yeah. Just if you just I would say make a active effort to try to be the best that you can. To be respectful, kind, whatever that you can to other people and all that. Make sure you prioritize your own peace, and things will work out. It's not some magic formula and all that, but I am confident that overall you'll have the right tools to be just a happier person.
Just treat people how you want to be treated.
And
they don't always treat you that way back.
Right.
And that's all right.
And then that's the way you prioritize on building your own circle around folks that do align with your values, do align with your viewpoints, and all that. And so it's like I said, everybody. I wish I had come to that realization earlier. I think some relationships would have gone maybe a lot better that way. Like I said, dating at this age has gotten.
How's your dating life?
I'm going to say that.
I want to hear about
being a photographer has made dating harder.
Yeah. Because you don't want to be a douchebag,
right? But also So here's the thing. There is a plenty of people who become photographers because they think it's an access or a gateway to meet attractive women and all that kind of stuff, and that shouldn't be in the platform of why you do it and stuff like that. If you're that kind of person because you think it's that your way to get into you're gonna sooner or later get weeded out. Hopefully sooner than later. But what ends up happening for me is that I don't try to get involved with anybody in my workspace and all that kind of stuff.
Smart.
Right. But not because I don't find them attractive or I don't vibe with plenty of people and all that kind of stuff. But I will literally be out in the thing and I'll see somebody and I'll be like that I find attractive, but not because I want to, get involved with it, but I want to tell them, hey, listen, I want you to model for me. I want a project or whatever. And I want not to confuse anything else with that, because
Right.
I don't want to lose. And I was about to say my product, but I don't want to lose my model for my product,
Right.
or for my. I'm saying product for my project. Pardon me. Sorry about that.
That's okay.
So yeah, there's those things that get into it, and also, in the terms of what I find attractive for aesthetics and anything like that, I have to remind myself that everything that I'm constantly editing or seeing and all that, because it does impact you. If I'm always constantly seeing what people, say as the beauty standard and all that over and over and over again.
Bullshit.
Yeah, it's bullshit. It is over and over again.
Because guess what? Beauty
Right.
fucking fades.
It does. But also, it
a lot quicker if you're an asshole.
I have to wake myself out of the conditioning of just constantly seeing comparing people to the folks that I'm seeing always professionally and everything like that. Of course that person looks different. They don't have filters and 80 hours of retouching.
I'd like to go back in time. Sorry.
Yeah.
Just when you said filters, if
Yeah.
I could go back in time, I wouldn't talk to anyone.
Mm-hmm.
It wouldn't be like, some people were like, I want to go back to ancient Egypt and see how the pyramids were made. And I said that before, but now I'm rethinking it. I'd like to go back in time and smack the fuck out of whoever made the fucking filters on Snapchat.
Oh, man. Yeah. Listen, and the problem with filters.
Who thinks that shit looks good?
And the thing is, as photographers, when we're working with talent, we know the things about that make people stand up. Like lighting does so much for people.
It does.
That so like lighting can make you look like you gained 10 pounds or lost like 15 or whatever. It can change the way your face looks and all that. The same way people just put on a filter. Filters need to be used. Not every filter fits all. There are intensity level filters that people
Christ, turn the intensity down.
Right. Look at the slider.
If you don't have pores,
right,
we have a problem.
Right,
You're
right.
not human.
Yeah, and so there's folks that are doing these.
You're grooming me for a fuck doll.
There's people that are using these intensity. They're not managing the intensity of the filters. Like if I see your thing and a filter and it looks like you didn't blend in your neck with your makeup, or
that actually happens.
Right. And so, but as a photographer, we would notice stuff like, hey, adjust this and this before the shoot, and boom, that picture looks a lot more authentic.
Yeah.
You throw in the filter in, and then you got eyeshadow that's bleeding off the edge of your eye, and yeah, sure, the layman's doesn't know this, but I notice it. Other content creators notice, and it's even more inauthentic because you're using something that, and I get it, they're fun. I'm not here to stomp on
if you're
anybody's
just
fun.
doing it for funsies.
Yeah,
but you're dating.
Yeah,
you go on the dating apps.
I know. Okay, so no, I don't use.
Have you?
I used to.
Okay, but when you were on them,
oh yeah, you've seen all
you remember seeing you scrolling through and you see every girl on there has. First of all, it's always a picture from up here.
Yeah,
never like this.
There was a joke I posted on TikTok that says when you go on a Tinder date and you're waiting in the car and you see her pull out and pull out the car, but her filters didn't arrive yet. She gets out the car, but her filters didn't arrive yet. And I'm not trying to 100% focus in on this, because again, if they're fun, if they make you feel confident, beautiful,
whatever.
and all that.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm honestly not knocking anybody
and listen,
down.
I'm 100% admit I have some photos of me playing with filters that are on my pages and grams,
Oh,
because
yeah,
they're, like I said, they're fun, and I'm fine with them being
little puppy ears.
Right. Listen, there's somewhere on my Facebook I got the puppy dog face filter, the little tongue and everything. And I don't want people to take away from their fun, but there are other ways to, I guess, make the filter, if you want to be beautiful or make it, there's tools to make it match yourself a little bit more authentically that people should explore.
If you want to be beautiful, love who the fuck you are.
Yes.
And that's going to radiate.
Right.
And it don't matter what. See, that's the thing. I used to have friends that would like categorize women as 1 through 10s, and like they'd always set really bad with me. Like I'm like, how the fuck are you gonna rate somebody a 1 through? What are you? You're a solid 2, you bitch. Like, who the fuck are you to say if they're a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10?
Now I did get on. I have. There's somewhere in the archives of Reddit of me getting up on a rate me and like, hey y'all, what y'all think? Give me.
Where'd you land?
Listen, I got some 8s, I got some 9s.
Did you? I would say for sure.
I didn't get a 10. But I had a lot less weight in my face now.
For sure, a solid 9.5.
But I had.
You're a handsome bitch.
That's the thing. That's kind of why I also got off of dating apps because, in my local area and stuff like that, I felt like that I wasn't. It affects your confidence that I wasn't what people were looking for as far as men in my area and everything. But I also
but it's a small sampling of what there is in Jacksonville.
Right. But
not everybody is on them dating apps.
Right. And but when you're in that and you're seeing your one guy friend who gets like 100 likes, and then me, I'm struggling to get like say 40 on a good day or something.
Social
like that.
Dilemma.
Right.
You need to watch that shit tonight.
Okay, I'll check it out. But then here's the thing.
And the Black Mirror episode.
I see some of my female friends, and I understand. One, this is what discouraged me from not. This is what sealed the deal why I don't mess with dating apps in general, because I saw some of my female friends. They would get thousands upon thousands. They would literally hit the limit of how many likes or people liked them.
Because guys just do this.
Right. Bro swipe, and so
bro swipe,
and there was no point in. I was like, there's no way I'm going to penetrate this wall of.
You said penetrate.
Yes, I did. This wall of attention. So the best way is to be authentic, meet people organically.
Yeah, and you will stand out to the right person.
Right.
And whether that's on a dating app or where do people even meet people anymore?
I've met more people as far as romantically through just getting on the floor, networking. And this is not to say I have not dated people within my industry.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of have to these days.
Yeah.
Like you said, the online dating is dumb.
Mm-hmm.
It's really dumb. I've talked about this openly before, but like my girl and I are polyamorous. We date other people sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
We're both on the fucking dating apps, and we both sit around and have a good laugh
Mm-hmm.
most days.
Gotcha.
Mostly with her, it's like we look at the guys' pictures and dudes. I'm just going to tell you, fucking step up your game with the pictures. They're fucking hilarious, some of them.
Right.
But then I'll show her some of the females I'm looking at. And with the girls, it's just like, contradicting shit all over their fucking thing.
I understand that.
So at any rate, that's that. But people that are looking for marriage and you're on a dating app, you better get a fucking clue, girl.
But, there's plenty of... The thing is... There are success stories.
I'm just saying. I've been with her for fucking 5-6 years now. We met on OkCupid.
Well, so y'all met on online dating, so that's you're one of the success stories.
Yeah. We're never gonna get married though.
But and to a degree, I've avoided. Honestly, what's the best dating app? Instagram.
That's disgusting.
Instagram is the best dating app.
The only time what I get on Instagram. I get girls messaging me, and you start having I don't know who the fuck they are. Of course, I make sure that they're like a real account, like there's actual posts and they follow people and shit. But and I'm just like, okay, what do you want? We'll start talking and shit, and then 5 seconds in, they send a link for their OnlyFans, and I'm like, block.
Yeah. No, I said because think about it, it's the place where you can post your highlights, which most dating apps do. It's a already agreed on, social vetting program, because when people link their Instagram, so I want to see if this person's a creep or a stranger or somebody, or do you know my friend's mutual and everything.
Everyone is a creep on social media.
Right. Everybody wants to check out your socials before they meet you. Again, it's healthy vetting. I encourage people to do that anyway.
I don't know. I've always felt kind of creepy about people that like stalk people on like Instagram or Facebook. I say stalk. That's a heavy word.
Yeah, well, no.
What I mean
understand.
is like pursue, I guess would be a better word, or pursue someone that they meet on Instagram and they're like, I just think it's weird.
For me, and maybe it's just the from me just coming to terms with it. I see it as a platform to advertise the best traits of yourself, and that may be inauthentic because like kind of like all first dates are. You're selling yourself. Oh, I like hikes. Oh, you like hikes? Yeah. You're going through that whole bit. So you get to put that out. If somebody looks at your profile and sees something that they have that you don't like, and they walked away from that, that's also fine too.
Yeah.
Because again, now you're just weeding out people valuing your time you can't get back. So personally, I think Instagram. And you get it's a safe platform to message people, because if you're messaging and everything like that, you don't have to exchange numbers. Oh, I don't like you. Okay, boom, block.
I mean, I put my number on my profile, so it's like
Okay,
really.
right.
But that's the thing, though. People put whatever they want to on social media.
Yeah.
Jen's even talked about this numerous times, and we've brought it up that she said it numerous times. But people only see what you want them to see. So as far as vetting someone, like maybe going through their profile, looking at what what their posts are or whatever, like I don't know if you can really judge that, because I feel like like I said earlier, there might be 1% of people that are real out there nowadays.
But again, this is all surface level, superficial stuff, and that's fine.
Yeah.
Obviously, when you're in the person with somebody, which dating should be, that's when you got time to engage, ascertain values, weed people out through that way. But I have no issue with people using social media platforms as, again, more superficial stuff to gain more information. Yeah, people may call it stalking, but if the stuff is public, that's no more.
I like pursuing better. Okay,
yeah.
We're gonna go with pursuing. No stalking.
Yeah, gotcha. So honestly, I've had people approach me through Instagram, which turned into dates and everything. Not necessarily.
Really?
Yeah. Well, my last long-term girlfriend, she was somebody. We did initially meet first time at a networking event, and then marketing.
It's better than meeting somebody at a bar.
Right. And that we exchanged Instagram that way, but it was mostly just, hey, we're at a real estate networking event. We exchanged profiles, but we didn't really engage after that.
Yeah.
But then I was posting stuff on my stories and everything like that, and that sort of commenting, and then then didn't talk for a minute, and then the DM started coming, and we arranged dates, and then we went on, had a long-term relationship after that, and then she did what she did, and then we moved on.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah,
Look, man, I thought you said you were gonna make this a platform.
No. I'm not.
Don't be
here.
slandering that chick.
No. This is not slander, but
It's the truth.
Slander. Yeah, kids can't only slander and libel if it's fake. But
the
I'm
only
not
person that's allowed to do that here is me.
Yeah. I won't. I'm not here to use your
kidding.
platform for
I'm
that.
kidding. I don't give a fuck.
And I've had plenty of, obviously in the space that I am.
Yeah, you have.
I've
I'm sorry.
You're funny. In the space that I'm in, have I had relations with people that are within my workspace and all that? Sure. And
You're going to be a politician one day.
I did work in politics.
You just said relations. I did not have relations.
Did you not know I worked in politics already?
I did not.
Yeah, I used to be a...
Is that why you cut me off in there earlier when I was saying how I feel about things? And you're like, okay, we're not going to talk about that.
No. I again, remember I told you, I'm an advocate of not interrupting people's peace.
Yeah.
So it was something
It's
I didn't want to get. Like I said, I'm not, and plus I'm not on the clock. I don't work for that company anymore. No. I worked for a polling and data aggregation company. So when I was the guy, whenever you see on CBS and NBC and on Fox News and all that, said this is what the polls look like. Yeah, I was a canvasser.
Okay, I got a question then.
Yep, sir.
Okay, so I got a theory about these polls.
Okay.
Pat, have you ever been polled? Like, has anybody ever come to you and said, "Hey"?
Never.
Okay, me neither.
Okay.
Who are you getting? Who's answering these polls besides morons?
Okay, I can only speak for the company that I worked for. There's a list of registered voters, whether and conservative, and I think some states work differently.
And they all have 98 cats,
and they have a friend, and there is just a random cold calling list where they say, hey, we're going to call 1,000 people. Our office is going to call 1,000 people. If they pick up the phone, we're going to answer a survey. But then most of those phones are through landlines. So that messes.
Who has a fucking landline anymore?
So when back when most of that was.
That's what I'm saying. People that have seen aliens and old people.
Old people.
And then also the other group is people. Remember, it's a random cold call. So how many times you see a phone number, you look at that and like, all right, I ain't picking it up. I don't know the recognized number anyways. So it's literally just of the 1,000 people who pick up the line that participate in the survey that give that. When my job, though, I was on the floor canvassing, on the ground canvassing. So I went door to door with my tablet.
Oh, that's scary.
Not with my tap badge and everything like that. And in neighborhoods that I did not have a secondary or with a safety to person that goes along with you, and knocking on doors and asking.
I would have slammed the door right in your face.
And I had so many people slam the door. The way I got polling data is that I had to
Sorry, man, that's tough.
I had to do a minimum amount of doors. So I had to do, like, say, 200 doors or 300 doors for that day in that particular neighborhood. And actually, the two things happened. One, if I finished my route too early, they would just give me another block. So I could have done my 200 doors in that day, and they said, well, you still got 3 hours left, so we'll just give you another 200.
So, like, you couldn't just, like, walk from one end of the neighborhood to the other end of the neighborhood?
No, they
and then sat down
well,
in a shade somewhere and chilled for 2 hours?
They gave me addresses because there was obviously a do not solicit list or whatever. You could not go to people that were on the list, so you had to go to certain addresses. And also,
I'm curious about that now too. How the fuck do they know?
Also, and this was not represented with my my company, but certain super PACs who are doing surveys and polls aren't allowed to go to doors of the opposing political party.
Of course, that would make it look horrible. That's detrimental for my case. What do you mean?
Well, no, but it's also like, for example, like
I want to poll somebody that's against me. Jesus.
Right. Well, it's not. Yeah, there's that, but also legally they weren't allowed to do so. You're not supposed.
That's dumb. They should be legally made to go to that person's house.
There was a lot
to make things fair.
That defeats the whole purpose of polling.
Yeah, and they have their sample things of all that, but that's my job. I had my go door to door, get my numbers, send it off, and then finally when I got promoted, I was allowed to look at the numbers and then create determine what this might write descriptions of the sample size, on Canva and Photoshop and create the graphs and everything like that, and then I would send that to my other managers who would create talking points based on the surveys that I either me or my team.
These are real-time polls. We just had these fresh off the presses today since noon o'clock.
Right, yeah, and literally we would have, and also on our tablet would refresh on different questions that we have to ask people on the door. So so
there's like a guy at the office going, I don't like these questions. They're not coming right. Here, let me send some new questions.
It would change. It would change weekly. And some of the stuff that we would go. My office was largely to people who, in the state of Florida, who were convicted felons or charged felons who got their voting rights reinstated by who's going to come to me.
That's who you were polling.
So that's what we're supposed to be targeting. It was supposed to remind them that, hey, your voting rights are being reinstated. But how do you feel about certain candidates, or do you know that your voting rights are being reinstated? Or hey, based on our data, you have these saying court fees and all that kind of stuff. But if you just take care of this, your voting rights will be reinstated and everything like that. And by the way, how do you feel about these candidates and all that?
Slam.
So they would give us their opinion, like, and folks be like, yeah, but listen, some people had apprehension because because they see the government, their state, as something because they got charged or they just got out of the system, as against them as a fair assessment. And so we were supposed to talk to them about, well, hey, this is what X candidate is feeling about legislative changes for the justice system, and how do you feel about that? And a scale of 1 to 5, or let's say on a 1, or say 1 to 10, 1 being I strongly disagree, 10 that I disagree, and then just going door to door and doing a lot of that, that data aggregation. So I did that for about 1.5 years.
Bless your heart. How many guys came to the door with their dong hanging out?
Nobody came to the door with their dong hanging out. I did get some. You need to get out of this neighborhood kind of tax and everything like that.
Were you in the neighborhoods with all the rebel flags?
Yeah, there's a couple of them. I drove a lot, and they would.
You're trying to be PC.
Yeah.
It's okay. You can say it. Say it with me. Rednecks.
No, listen. There was a lot.
Them rednecks are gonna fucking. When the Civil War happens, you might want to be around.
Well, there's also people that that were like, well, what are you doing around here? Why are you going to door? And I would say, hey, I'm doing this. And like, well, do you have an ID? And I have to say, ma'am, I don't have to, or sir, I don't have to identify myself to you, and all that. Even though I did have a big old badge that says,
Yeah, but wouldn't you say, I mean, I'm asking for something from you. I'll give you.
No. People approaching me before I go to the door.
Oh, just
yeah,
like for walking
around the neighborhood, and they're just coming to me and all that. Yeah, no. I would obviously identify myself if I'm
They
approaching
thought you
the
were
door.
the feds or something.
Or people looking at
Are
suspicious.
you with the CIA?
Yeah, and that's the thing. And also, I dressed so clean and professionally. I wear my button ups, jeans, nice shoes.
In
and
Florida?
Yeah. And in the
How'd
heat,
you not sweat?
I have so much videos of me out there, in the car, doing the thing,
Drying off.
Right. And so I did, and also the company I work for, I got data from both sides. Now I obviously migrated to ones that aligned with my views and everything like that. But I've been working in politics for a minute. I did photography for the Val Demings campaign. So sorry, I just killed like 80% of your audience or something like that. No,
That's all I have.
No. I'm just.
I honestly don't care. Like I'm my whole life I'm like every time you go get a new license or you update your license, they're like, how would you like to vote? You have to put your thing on. And, of course, they only have Republican or Democrat. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, well, I don't like either of that shit. Mm-hmm. I like maybe a little from column A and a little from column B. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I really feel like, in my personal opinion, I know that, I don't, whatever. I don't care if anybody stops, and that's one of the biggest problems I have is there's a lot of people out there right now. And we talked about this a little bit before we started. It's just, there's so much fucking hate.
Yeah.
And, people want to hate you for your views.
Right.
I don't care what your views are. I respect you as a person. Mm-hmm. And I think that most people, they should be able to have a civilized conversation and be able to sit down and talk with one another. And I honestly feel like that's the best way progress gets made.
I think what ends up happening is, and I've had to check myself on this, is that and this is the one time where
Turns
I'll say
into a pissing contest.
Well, but this is the one time where I'll say, because I hate the term blame the media. Because
the media is doing some shit
but the thing is, I dislike just saying that because the media creates content that people have proven that they want to consume, but if the audience was, rejected that content, then they wouldn't put that out.
Right. We go for the negative.
Right.
And that's what they put.
There's a responsibility on the audience of giving the feedback of, hey, this is not the stuff that I want to engage with, want to consume, but hey, they're putting it out there. But also, it creates caricatures of what people of different political leanings are, and it's really easy to just buy into that.
Yeah, people are gullible.
Right. I have, like I said, had to check myself on not seeing other people of the opposite political alignment as just, X about this, oppressing rights and all that, largely because when if you just look on the media and internet stuff like that, that's all you see,
right.
And then you go have lunch with the person, and then they may lean that way, but they don't want to
sway
vote,
you.
or rather, they may lean that way, but they don't want to vote in a way that they feel like your values or yours is going to be compromised. And I say this, for example, like I have a friend who. He's hardcore. I'm gonna say he posts all the, I would say, the worst version of conservative memes, like the ones where when the person who took the shot at Trump got killed and whatever, as he should have been killed. But then he was posting something like, well, one Democrat down, the rest to go. And him and I are the best, grow up the best of friends and all like that. And I'm just like, bro. Why?
Yeah. Well, that's the thing that really has me bothered by just that. Mm-hmm. Let's just use that as an example.
Yeah.
And I think I've mentioned this before, but it's like the thing that I saw directly after that was coming from the left. Mm-hmm. It was all these I saw probably, and again, it's on social media, so what the fuck? But these young people, mm-hmm. okay, younger than us, mm-hmm. and they're probably don't know much. Mm-hmm. I can't say. I don't fucking know. Mm-hmm. But they're crying, bawling, and holding up a camera, mm-hmm. bawling that they didn't that they missed.
Mhm.
is
Yeah,
wh-
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
and I'm like, why would you do that? Like, that's a human being. I don't want anyone to die.
I don't want the guy to die. I don't want him to die.
I don't want anybody
I don't
to
want to die.
die.
Yeah, I don't want. Like that's the thing. Like I said, I disagree.
I know people are going to
with
do
the
it.
platform.
It's going to
and
happen.
Yeah, disagree with the platform and all that kind of, but I don't want the guy to die. I don't want anybody to die. But when the temperature was, and going back to the conversation from when temperature is that high, but then we sit down and then we talk about the stuff, and like I realize, okay, he doesn't believe in he doesn't buy into the caricature and the radicalness of what gets portrayed out there. But he does vote in that way because he feels like that genuinely that's the best direction for the country.
Right.
Best
He maybe
interest.
saw the meme,
Right,
thought
right.
it was funny,
Right.
didn't think about the fucking repercussions.
Right. And so I've had to, like I said, reevaluate myself because
Right.
I listen. I was in Facebook jail because I posted something and all that, and then I got Meta came and said, "Hey, your stuff is blah blah blah,"
Yeah.
and I got muted and all that, and and that gave me some time to reevaluate.
This whole podcast is probably going to get fucking muted.
Well, hope not. Like I said, we're not talking about anything too crazy.
No,
or anything like
it's
that.
all right. You'll
You know,
see.
it's
Oh,
like-
I'm about to get there.
No, and like I said, I don't want to get political either.
yeah, and we're not.
But
We're pretty
my thing is that there's a lot of shoot first, ask questions later, or
Yes.
shoot first and never ask questions
Mhm.
on both sides.
Yeah.
And I actually have been really enjoying X lately. However,
Twitter. Where I'm never going to call it X.
Whatever.
It doesn't deserve to be called X.
okay,
Twitter.
whatever.
Pluto's a planet too.
Sure. Well, it's always been a planet.
Yeah.
But when I grew up with Pluto as a planet, but who the fuck knows? But what I've been seeing lately, if you scroll a feed on X, it's like left, right, right, just taking fucking jabs, pot shots at each other. They're clipping Kamala, or however you Kamala. I don't know how you say her name, Kamala. They're clipping Trump. They're clipping Joe Biden falling. Which after a certain amount of time, you start seeing enough of these videos, you start going, "Is this shit real?" The shit that's come out of her mouth. I'm like, I'm not against her. I'm not for her. I'm not for Trump. I'm just saying. I think, like I told you earlier, I don't think either one of these people are the right person for the job, and that's just my personal opinion.
Okay.
I feel like in this great United States, we can do better. We can do better. Somebody out there. But the problem is, ever since Trump became our president, he's a talk show, a game show host became president. Okay, and fucking did exactly what he did on his game show. He fired people. I mean, I ain't saying it was bad. I'm not saying it was good. I'm just saying we let that person come into office, and it was a lesser of two evils type of thing. And now he's shown the whole fucking United States that job is bullshit. You put Joe Biden in there, and I mean, I don't know. I didn't follow him. Okay, I'm only going by what I saw on social media, which is not good.
Yeah, we just talked about media literacy.
It's really, yeah. That's, I mean, so I am a moron.
Okay.
Don't take me for anything I say.
you're
I'm just going by what I saw, and I wouldn't I'm not like Fox, CNN. I don't give a fuck. You just see what you see, and it's just like I felt bad for the guy. I mean, he's fucking 80 years old.
81.
81 years old. That's a horrible shit job for an 81-year-old person. It's a shit job.
Yeah.
You should not be doing that. You know what I'm saying?
Well, so there's a lot to try to compile and all that.
Unpack.
No, so the short version is just say for me is I have had to. I got to keep my pulse on the climate because, again, the work that I do and all that, because it's not just exclusive with marketing and all that. I still am, like I said, active in, my political community.
And you have your
activist.
own personal
Right. My viewpoints.
beliefs.
Right. So, so I actively participate in, the things that are my favorite party and all that. But I also have, try to have meaningful conversations with people who, again, that don't necessarily buy into the same ideologies as I do, and also again try not to get to a point where I am consuming so much of negative meme content about the opposite side that it dehumanizes people across the aisle, because that serves nobody. There was something that, like, for example, I keep seeing this, like, and I'm going to use two things because both people do. They'll say, like, we don't want to make America like, say, like conservative Alabama because it's doing, like, say, abortion or all that, or like restricting abortions. But then you'll have, say, like Trump say, well, we don't want to make America like San Francisco, like liberals, hyper liberal San Francisco, because he said that at a rally. And the thing is, what both this is like, that's America. We shouldn't be telling people, other Americans that live in the same collective United States, that they are less than just because of where they live. Or, that's still the
So
whole.
they're saying we don't want to make America like that place.
Right. But those people are still
like,
those people are still Americans, and I hate that idea. That idea of just targeting another group of Americans,
self-segregation,
and saying that, oh, we don't want the country or we don't want the world to look like other Americans. That irritates me to all in.
Now, are those the exact words you paraphrasing?
Yeah, no. Trump's got up on his platform, and
I'm trying to think of the context.
He said,
a lot of times
he said
we're taken out of context.
He got up on platform and said, we don't, she wants to make America like radical San Francisco, radical leftist San Francisco. I heard that and I was like, holy crap. I don't care that it's fine. If you don't want to live in San Diego, he said San Francisco, he said San Diego. I don't care if you don't want to live in San Diego because it's got its own thing. I hate the idea that you targeted a group of Americans and said, we don't want the country to be like you.
Now, do you remember, I think it was 2019, Chaz? Do you remember that?
Chaz?
No, it was Chaz.
In Seattle?
I think it was somewhere in Seattle, I believe.
Yeah, they cordoned off.
They cordoned off a whole city.
Oh, was that in for the drug freeze? Not that was that? I thought that was that was in Seattle, right? Yeah.
It was a group of people that I think it was Antifa, if I remember correctly, that cordoned off like a mile.
They didn't let nobody in or out.
Yeah, the no police zone or something like that.
People got shot
because
and
they
killed.
said we're going to do it, and we're going to do it our way, and we're going to do it better.
Mm-hmm.
And then within 2 days, people were dying. They were getting shot in there. They're getting killed. There's no cops were allowed in. So there's lawless. It's just lawless. Now, if you talk about that, because that was a failed experiment that they did. It was horrible. It was just like it was basically like fucking Waco, except right in the middle of a fucking city. And like business owners couldn't get to their shops. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that.
Right. But I get, and I feel like we're missing the point. Is
I know what you're saying.
The rhetoric of, we can
freedom of speech.
We can hyper critique the effectiveness of people using policy and everything like that. But I hate, and I'm trying to say, in a reflection of what I'm talking about, like humanizing the people, regardless of the leaning there.
People make mistakes.
Creating this idea that another group of Americans
is
less than or aren't as equal as everybody else, because that.
Well, that's why I want to find out what he said. Exactly, and what you said that they both, the opposing people,
right,
said
because
things about
because they said I
want to find out the exact verbiage, because I feel like
we can pull it up after the podcast, or how much time we got left. Or
I don't fucking know. We can go for as long as we want. The point I'm trying to make is
to put we got the screen. Yeah, we radical. I think it's radical leftist San Francisco.
Oh boy,
I'm just gonna shoot from the hip here.
He's just typing shit and hoping that fucking Google fixes it.
All right, it'll pull something up.
Hey, look, there's. Have you noticed? Have you seen the thing where they've been posting? I actually checked it too, but when you type in anything about Donald Trump, Kamala stuff comes up.
Let's try it out.
Anyway, so while he's getting the stuff,
the point I was trying to make is,
it comes up.
If I had said something like that, I would have said, I don't want the rest of the United States to be in the situation that these people are in. I don't know if he said that. I don't know if he said, I don't want it to be like this, or I just don't want. I want to get people the opportunity to not fall into, because right now, I mean, I don't know about if it is anymore. I can't imagine that it's much better. But you remember the tent city over there in California. It was bad. Homeless people just springing up all over the place.
And listen, I watched that the National Black Journalists
Atlanta
thing.
Atlanta
man,
thing.
listen, like I said,
I want to watch it because I feel like
Okay.
because he was saying things that obviously he's an asshat and he says things, he just runs off. But I feel like whenever he just says things, he was saying something that I saw the part where she cut him off. It sounded like he was saying something she didn't like, so she just cut him off. And that's censorship, right?
No, okay, so
it's not censorship when you stop somebody from saying something that what they're saying.
I don't know the particular.
It's their show. They can do whatever they want.
I don't want to, because I don't know
you're walking on eggshells.
The context, yeah.
Yeah, because I don't know the particular quote that you're talking about. My issue is that
he was talking about illegals.
Well, for example, okay, so now we're, I guess, delving into my territory in a sense. Like,
sure, school me, man. I don't know shit. All I know is the feeling that I get when I see both of these people up there. It's really kind of fucking makes my stomach turn.
Here's something. He was on the. A journalist had the opportunity. He said that. Do you agree with do you agree with the opinion that Kamala is a DEI president? And he said she could be. DEI, yes, and diversity, equity, inclusion, as in somebody who was brought in, to as a initiative,
identity politics,
bring in as a
woman of color,
a DEI hire.
Right, DEI hire. I dislike as a black man who is always been told to be exceptional, to be to keep a clean profile and all that kind of stuff, and not just to do good, but to be exceptional, just so I'm not reflected upon as far as like my race or that kind of stuff.
Right.
To hear somebody saying that the vice president of the United States is only there because as a DEI or affirmative action hire reflects on so much that I've heard from other people saying, you're only at this job because we needed to make affirmative action hire. You're only at this job because we needed to get some black folk in here, or when I've had times where like, oh man, Elliott, you speak so well. Or word thing, oh, you sound white. You speak so white, because attributing that intelligence is only associated with whiteness. And
That's
all
so
that.
dumb.
And looking at this and seeing those, it just reinforces so much of that I
you feel pain from it.
It's not even pain. I'm just so exhausted of it.
Yeah.
Because the thing is like, for a while I thought, okay, maybe we're getting past that, and it is not. It's just it's becoming another talking point. It's becoming reinforced over and over again.
I think the only reason that I would even ever, if I don't have any skin in the game, whatever. But the only thing that I would say is that when Joe Biden was picking, about to run for president, before he picked his running mate, he was talking about, I'm going to hire as my vice. He said it. I mean, I'm paraphrasing, but he actually said it out of his mouth. I'm going to run with a woman of color. Yeah. A woman and of color.
Right.
And I'm like, well, why does that matter?
Well, also, but
whether it's a woman, whether she's white, whether she's black, you want someone that's the best for that job, correct?
Right, but also people knew during the debates, the primaries and anything like that, people were already pushing for Kamala to be his VP in the first place because of just her record and all that.
Right.
Now, her campaign did stumble. Wow, we're getting
well. They went like this.
Yeah, and
in the debates.
Now, Tulsi Gabbard did tear a new one, and then
I love her.
That
I like her.
But they never mentioned that in the media. About Tulsi
they
Gabbard.
buried her.
They never amplified that.
100 feet down.
Remember, I told you I digest this stuff. Listen.
I follow a little bit. I like to play dumb.
I am the guy who, and y'all really gonna y'all gonna hear a lot of it. I digest a lot of Fox News, Newsmax. what's the guy? One American News, because I want to hear what the other people are saying.
Mm-hmm.
So I have one on one screen, and then I'll go to the other.
You have to, though.
You know, and I have it on the other screen because I hate to be in the kind of person who, I'm going to speak a thing, and then somebody
only watch the one thing.
Or worse, you know how embarrassing it is. You want to have a debate with somebody, and they hit you with a bunch of facts, and you're looking stumbled, and it's like, I don't know about that situation.
Right.
Yeah, you look dumb as hell. Oh, I'm see, now you got me engaged.
It's okay.
So
good.
I watched all that kind of
stuff. Well, it's a good thing we talked about the JFE first because now people are checking out.
Yeah, probably are. So, and I want to pivot back to the J thing and stuff like that. But to summarize a lot,
I feel like you've got a lot to get off your chest. I want you to do it,
but I'm not going to do it on this podcast.
Okay.
We'll do it another time. Maybe on the next one. We'll preface everybody that. Listen.
I just think that it's good to have these conversations.
Yes, sir, it is. Yes, sir, it is. And so, I will summarize all of my things. To one, I'm going to make a call back to again. I'm glad we have these conversations because again, I never want to get so caught up in consuming my own biases that I dehumanize the person and largely the friend that I have across the aisle from here. Well, I keep saying aisle as if I'm in the Capitol Hill, the table from me.
You're not going to alienate me, dude.
You know.
I'm slapped down the middle. You know what I mean? As far as things go,
Mm-hmm.
you know, I mean, like take Kamala and take Trump out of and Biden, all the presidents, take them all out. I look at like what each side stands for.
Mm-hmm.
And there's things that I like over here.
Yeah.
And there's things that I like over here.
Mm-hmm.
But what I don't see from politicians really, or these people that are running, any of them, I don't see them like telling anybody what they're going to do about these things. Like, these are the issues on the left. These are the issues on the right. And some of them are right. Some of them, they all need to be addressed. But what are we going to do to address them? And when people ask them, both of them give like this weird like tap dance around the fucking answer.
Yeah, word salad.
Yeah, but
here's my opinion. I think both parties create issues within, such as bringing up DEI and such as bringing up all these incentives that are false incentives, and they like to make talking points out of it via media. I mean, earlier you said, you know, I don't think the media is to blame here because they push out content and people consume it.
They're going to make a soundbite.
But hear me out. Science fiction is also content. People consume that. So, but if you're going to be a media company, a social media company, one of the big six that run everything here, you need to tell the truth, right? Just because it may be something they consume may not always mean that it's the truth that they're consuming. Science fiction sells. I watch the shit out of Marvel. You know what I mean? So the media, in my opinion, is the ones to blame because they are all comprised of BlackRock, Vanguard, State Street, and all these other capital, venture firms and stuff, and hedge funds and whatnot. And they the big six, they all answer to a board of directors. And those board of directors are who? The primary investor. So if you have a company like BlackRock, for example, Larry Fink, who owns 6% of Fox or CNN, whoever it may be, do you think that if he says, okay, I'm going to pull all my money out of your stock if you don't broadcast this rather than this, I'm going to walk and your company's going to go under? Hostile takeover situations and stuff like that happening behind closed doors, that ultimately the decisions that are made behind closed doors are now coming through your TV screen because they want that amplified. They want whatever sells. I mean, you got to think about the media when Donald Trump was first getting elected in 2016, the whole Russia scandal and everything like that. It came out to be false, Steele dossier. It ended up being a guy took a fall for the Hillary campaign. But nonstop for 3.5 years was that broadcast because it sold. It was a lie that sold. It made them millions on millions, that one story, these broadcast companies. So, yeah, people consume it, but it just still may not be the truth. The whole reason they want to take TikTok away. It's an alternate social media platform that they ultimately cannot control because ByteDance, the parent company, is owned by the CCP. So when you're following the money here, they don't want the CCP pumping stuff into the soft heads of people here in America that might hurt the policies here or the politicians. And that's exactly what they're doing. More and more is being exposed every day through alternate social media. JRE, I'll say it, Joe Rogan. I mean, he has people on from a broad range of viewpoints, and they're gritting their teeth right now because they can't control this. They're not making any money off of it either.
So the back when I say I don't I hate the term blame the media because I feel like it takes away the agency of people being their own healthy skeptics and using it as a barometer of it takes that agency away from them. I blame the media.
100%. I agree.
I blame the media, so if it's 100%, I can just immediately blanket. Oh, it's from CNN. I don't have to care about it. Oh, it's from Fox News. I don't have to care about it because it's fake news, fake media, and it dissolves people's own agency to have educated and discerning opinions and all that. And or they go to what it say, oh, the real news is in an alternative media, but alternative media also are human beings trying to tell stories, trying to sell narratives and all that kind of stuff. And even as authentic as that journalist or that opinion piece may feel like they're being, even if you can say the one person has a 100% no investors or buy-in and stuff like that, they have their own viewpoints and they're trying to they're
unbiased.
So their own bias and stuff like that. And so that's what I was leaning as far as like don't thing.
No, I agree with you, but
go
ahead.
Also,
Sorry.
and again, I don't necessarily care about, but the whole thing about the ByteDance, as technically still a Singaporean citizen when I lived there and all that kind of stuff. I mean, ByteDance is mostly China does have as far as investment partners and all that, but it's still a Singaporean, property as far as entity and all that kind of stuff. So again, that's just I'm trying to be but actually kind of thing when it comes to as far as like but that was just my little nitpick with that.
I guess the problem I have with the media, and I'm not just talking about big media, I'm talking about all socials, other people because the problem is that people like me, people like you, people like him, people like anybody in the world, anybody with a phone can make their own media, and they can say whatever they want, they can put their own spin on it. And a lot of what people
which is why horoscopes are bullshit.
Exactly. a lot of what people say and post is these little out of context clips that they take from on both sides. And I that's why I like conversations like this. But because if somebody actually were to watch this whole thing, they would see the full thing. But I'm sure that somebody could probably clip this up to make it look like you're jumping down my throat, or I'm jumping down your throat.
I'm clipping this, man.
Or we can, or that we're ganging up on you, or whatever.
Yeah. Oh man, listen, I'm gonna literally the headline: Elliott owns Pat and Graybeard.
Do it. I want you to do it.
I'm gonna go viral. Right.
Do it.
Debate. Yeah. Listen. Let's go.
I want some of that money though. You better share it with me.
You got it. You
get that viral money. I want that.
Yeah. No. But listen, like I said, and again, I do want to kind of move on in a sense from this. Not because
it's a hot topic, and people, no matter where you live and no matter who you are, everybody has different opinions, man, and it can turn ugly real quick.
Well, and
unless you're level-headed like us do.
right. But also it's the climate, and I know not everybody. Talking about not just what consumes media to the obsession that I do.
No,
because
especially me, I'm the complete opposite now.
Yeah. And not just social media, but just content, but also it has created this. I guess where I'm measuring this barometer, where I'm measuring a whole bunch of stuff too, where I'm able to put context and all these other kinds of opinions into it.
Yeah.
But yeah, short version, guys, please have conversations, humanize people. Don't try to demonize everybody who sits across you. Now, there's some stuff, like I said, if there's some stuff that you're extremely passionate about that you can't come to terms or as a peacefully disagree, then yeah, just don't bring it up.
Well, I mean, and the thing there is, like, you can't tell people what to do and what not to do, right? Like, I know you weren't trying to do that, but, saying, hey, don't do that, I mean, like, you can't. It's the whole freedom of speech thing. And as much as I hate seeing certain things in the, like, I'm not a religious person, but there's certain things I'm like, hey, man, let them have their thing. Let the Christians have their thing.
Let the lesbians guard their weed naked with a gun on their compound. Okay,
whatever.
Just fucking
who cares? I mean, if that's what they want to do, then let them do it. Live and let live. You know what I mean? Yeah. But my question is, if you can't trust anything in the media, like because there's such a lean now. No, hold on, let me finish.
Mm-hmm.
I know we're going back to what you just said because something happened. What's going on there?
Oh, it says enter Outlook account.
Oh, hit cancel.
Is this still recording?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
good.
Okay.
What the fuck was I saying? Damn it! Fucking.
Oh,
You
lost
can't
the
trust anything in the media.
Where do you get where do we get the truth from?
Disclose.tv.
Where do we find? How do we read? Because I'm with you. I want to be able to research when I see something.
Mm-hmm.
I see like Kamala say something, or I see Trump say something, or I see Biden say something, or the head of the CIA that they're trying to fire or whatever. I mean, I want to be able to go in and like do some due diligence before I talk about this stuff with people.
Yeah.
So like, where do we go for that real information? Because I don't think it's out there.
No, I think the information. No, here's the thing.
Sorry, I'm not trying to piss you off.
You're not. No, you're not pissing me off. I'm just making sure I tactfully answer you. I want to answer you.
You are such a good guy.
Appreciate
man.
Appreciate. No, the information is out there. And again, it's okay. It's if you like Fox or OEN, it's okay to watch that, examine it, consume it, understand. If you go into it understanding that this is the bias that is coming from,
Right.
I remember back in the day, when we learned primary and secondary sources, and articles had the primary and secondary source of people interviewed. It's okay to look. If you want to go through that little time looking that up, that's fine. If I watch something from Fox News knowing that it's to talk about this, it leans this way, and that's not to say that the stuff is showing there is false because I disagree with it.
Mm-hmm.
I just disagree with it because it's presenting information in this particular slant.
Right.
That's okay. If you watch something on CNN or MSNBC, if you know it's from that slant, it's not to say that it's not true as much as if you say, hey, they're trying to push this stuff in this particular way with the information that they have. And if I disagree with it, or I hear it, but I'm still, healthily skeptical about it, that's also okay. If you want to combine both of it, just whatever to something that you inherently agree with and that aligns with your sense of values or morality, that's fine. I don't want people to be. There's some things that are. The things I want people to the conversation of stuff that's objectively true are like, I don't know, physics, gravity, the weathers, science,
everything else is speculation.
Everything, and then everything else is a matter. The nature of politics is a matter of opinion and the experiment of policy.
Yeah.
And so those are always going to have.
Rippling effects.
Rippling effects and stuff like that. And remember, keep in mind, the great experiment that is the America is trying to create a system that says everybody can pursue life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, but creating policy that not only protects the constituents, but also doesn't infringe on those people's rights. Which there are a lot of people with diverse opinions on what those rights. Well, not to say those rights are, but how to exercise those rights, which is a very difficult job. We can bring we got back on politics. We could talk about
no. I was just going to say. I mean, you go ahead. Go ahead.
For example, like let's say. I tell people, I think we had this thing off air with you, Pat. I'm a firm believer. Everybody believes in gun control, just where the line is at. We all don't think a 3-year-old should have a gun. Most people. No. I don't know about you, Pat.
Oh, hell
I
no.
mean, I think you got to start them young. You know what I'm saying?
There's some 30-year-olds.
Right. But we can all say that we all don't think a 3-year-old should have a gun. But do we cut it off at 12, 18? Is it 18 with training, 30 with background checks? That's where the tug and pull of policy goes around. But then you have folks that but what gets broadcast, because again that engages people, they want to take all of our guns. I'm a liberal who owns a gun. I don't have any bullets because I couldn't afford any when the last time I went to the range in 2022 and it's still unloaded.
Don't fucking tell people that.
No, so
go get some bullets tonight.
Hey, listen, I do have swords and swords don't run out of ammo, all right?
No, I totally believe. I think everybody's line in the sand is a little bit different. But if we're thinking about common sense gun control, 18 years old with training, with rigorous training,
Right.
Not no bullshit pencil whipping stuff, with
So-
somebody who's certified and qualified to be able to give this training.
Here's a curveball to that, though. I'm a parent. I mean, just a hypothetical. I'm a parent,
Mm-hmm.
and I have a 3-year-old and a 5 and a 15-year-old.
Mhm.
Am I not allowed to have a gun in my house?
You want me to answer that question?
I don't know.
Yeah.
That's-
Okay. Gotcha.
Because you guys were just talking about like what's the age of
Right.
somebody should have a gun. But like if you think about like, okay, well, a lot of people that are that age,
Mhm.
they're young like that, their parents might have guns.
Right. I get, but my point is not to use that as the
Talking point.
The talking point
Oh,
of
I
where,
got you,
of
got
were
you.
we
I
create
see what
the,
you're
the Venn diagram or
I
the.
thought you were getting into gun control.
No. As far as that, but I guess those are the conversations that there's people on both sides understand that there's a middle ground, but obviously the extreme is on either or is the one that gets broadcast or rather what gets engaged with, because that's what generates attention. And it's the self-fulfilling prophecy. So you got stuff that you have the extremes on either or that creates the most engagement. People engage with that because and so it gives as a creates a feedback loop to say, okay, well, this is what people feel like they want to see. This is what people's generating attention. Then obviously we need to put that out there. And it's and that quote kind of dials back into you create these weird. I'm just gonna say these weird opinions of people who just because they're red or blue or purple, as far as on lines, that it's.
We don't use the color green anymore.
That
party's gone.
Oh yeah, that's hard to discuss. Man, listen, I had a conversation with folks on, and this is I'm literally going to move off of politics after this one.
Sure you are.
No, I'm right back in there. Hold on.
Gotcha. About why don't you vote green third party and all that kind of stuff, and I'm like, third party folks don't even win their own local elections. Why in the hell I'm going to waste it with somebody? Somebody else. They have no money. They have, they don't have things that almost anybody agrees with, and they can't even win. I'm not even talking about state Senate, or I'm talking about they don't even make city council. They don't even make school board. Bro, get there first. That's just a rant with me. Yeah, listen. I could
He
cook
went hard on that.
I could cook.
He went hard on that.
the green because there's a growing interest here in Jacksonville, and I have to debate these dudes every other week because I'm ready for them.
I don't know. I guess me more than anything, I just like play devil's advocate, and I am a moron.
Mm-hmm.
So most people that, like hearing me talk about these things, you have to understand. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if we're looking at everything, in my opinion, from 50,000 feet on the current situation going on with the
We're all
U.S. and the
ants.
government, we're all ants in a tank, and there's a few greedy old white guys that are looking in that tank, and they're going, look at
More
all
than
them
a few.
fight. There's quite a few. Rockefeller to name one of them, his crazy-ass family. And then, but you've also got the politicians who like to gamify all these talking points, such as gun control and all this other stuff. They like to gamify it.
Yeah.
And not only that, they like to broadcast it to the Big Six. And they're all lock in step together. They're all holding hands.
Like how much?
It's just so apparent.
How long have we been talking about immigration? Like we've been arguing about immigration. I wasn't even alive during Reagan, but I hear about that immigration was a problem then. It was when I say immigration, the border, right? And it just keeps, So me personally, not that I say it's not an issue, but I've gotten to the point where I just don't care about hearing that anymore because it seems like a political football that gets migrated down.
The only thing I care about with that, and really, I guess it's probably more of a drug legalization issue, but like cartels are moving in, bro. They're moving in, and
They found over 100 people on known terrorist watch lists.
yeah, I mean,
so
and
That's the
again,
ones
a
they
lot of
found.
people think that we're like, I say we, I'm not nobody. I'm not on the fucking team. As Americans, maybe is what I meant, but like that America wants to just get rid of anybody who's an immigrant. Well, that's not true. There's a difference between a legal immigrant and an illegal immigrant. Someone who actually went through the citizenship test and did everything they were supposed to do, and obtain. My ex-wife, her parents, they came here from Yugoslavia, former Yugoslavia, and they both had to go and take all the tests to become a citizen. And
Right.
They're citizens and.
Well, so here, I it's a difficult position. I really want to get off of this, but it's a difficult position.
It's hard.
When
it's a lot of shit.
Yes, I am an advocate of legal immigration. I think people should go through a system, get vetted, and all that stuff to migrate to the country and everything like that. But we are also in a precarious situation where the world around us is not in the best shape, and we have this system where it says, "Hey, we're the beacon on a shining hill, where if you are in danger." We want you here to expedite, and I don't want to be in the situation where like I said, let's say a legitimate family, we are trying to flee a country because, like I said, the cartels are doing all their kind of stuff and everything like that. We are trying to come over because
it's a tough situation.
Because and you say, well, why don't you stay and go through the whole like when a mother has to grab her kids or a father has to grab and says, listen, we have to go. Or we're not going to live tomorrow. When I worked was bartending at a Nona Blue. I had the opportunity of working with another bartender who she was a legal immigrant that came from the whole Ukraine stuff like that because we expedited there and all that kind of stuff. But then she ended up going back and she was showing us pictures when she came back of her home. The school completely obliterated and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Which like I said, I'm glad that America decided to expedite her, again, path to citizenship and all that kind of stuff to get over here. So I don't want to be so, I don't even want to use the word xenophobic, but like get to the system where we're like, oh no, we're just going to reject everybody because I'd hate for the horror story to say, okay, because we started being we started rejecting or repelling everybody, that family didn't survive, or that they didn't escape that cartel, or now they have to do really salacious stuff or inhumane stuff, where those kids now have to work for criminal empires or terrorist groups and all that kind of stuff because that's the only way they can protect their families and all that. So yeah, I'm not the politician. That's why I try to advocate my own interests and put people in charge so they can strategize and work that thing out to solve that problem. But when I talked about I'm also exhausted because I hear it being a problem over and over. It was remember we were supposed to build a wall that
I don't know if that's the answer. Who knows?
Right, that didn't get done through, but also the camps. Terrible, terrible optics, all that kind of stuff. And then what was it? The legislation where the bipartisan bill that was supposed to get passed, and then somebody on these sides said, "Well, we're not going to pass it because we don't want to give a win to these, or there's stuff
gamifying it,
gamifying it," and that creates apathy. Which also translates to people. Well, now that both sides are evil, or I don't want to vote, or I don't want to because people just it's transparent. And listen, I don't know. I've lost my train of thought. Just
it's okay.
Emphasizing a bit on that.
It's okay. There's a lot of issues. America's a great place. I mean, so much so that like there's people every day from other countries clamoring to come here.
Yeah.
And I get that, and we are blessed to be able to. I mean, we can sit here and talk. My fucking dumbass can talk about politics, of which I know maybe 2% about what I'm actually talking about. So I should probably just be asking you guys the questions instead of saying anything that I feel. But and that's all I've ever thought is just like, how does this what I see make me feel?
I consume so much of it, and that's the thing.
That makes me nervous for you though.
Well, because that's the thing. I'm one of those people that because when people say people who are chronically online or chronically consuming stuff, and then I have to try to turn it on, like, okay, Elliott, I consumed a whole bunch of talking points and all that kind of stuff. Now I got to go back to being human again.
Yeah, I spend the most of my time on the internet on Pornhub. There's not a lot of politics in there.
I gotcha.
Some parodies.
Some quid pro quo in there.
Gotcha.
Some kind of something.
Well, the way this is my last political rant, so. But the way I look at it is the signs are all around us. Do you know how long an average empire exists on this earth?
Was it 200, 300 years?
250.
250, yeah.
You know what year we're in?
247.
248 now.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
got you.
yeah.
Okay,
So,
hey, let's go.
yeah. So, but Rome fell, right?
Mhm.
It didn't fall in a day, but it fell because their currency was overinflated.
Mm-hmm.
They started hiring foreigners to man the gates, their military. And also they had strategic bases that were too spread out, and they were spread thin.
Mm-hmm.
Their supply routes were cut off pretty easily. So when I look at it, we have over 700 bases worldwide. Our inflation is through the roof. Now we're letting people from outside in, and they've already the generals and the DoD has already talked about hiring them on as military service members. In the past 2 years, we went away with ASVAB scores, which was like the placement test for you to get in. You can score 0 now and get in. It's because retention's that bad. No one has the patriotism like our grandfathers did anymore. So it's just when I look at all the signs around us, it's like Rome, just flipped over and tried over again.
It ain't gonna matter because when Yellowstone explodes.
Oh yeah, wipes us off the face
But
of the earth.
okay, but the thing is, minus the explosions of events that have happened in the last 4 years, we were and I'm talking about globally. It was the safest time period between 2009 and 2019 of the safe.
So what changed?
Of anything in history? I would say political tensions over that.
Oh, other than 9/11.
And this is bringing.
That was a big one.
And this brings up as far as like, and keep in mind, to create that statement, it compares the rest of the world to say how people were dying in 1921, 1938 onward. All the other global conflicts. We've had the least amount from 2007 to 2019. Least amount of global conflicts, or that involving, people dying to those things in global history. Now, like I said, things have even now, with crazy as everything's going on right now, right? We still have not reached obviously the same levels of, say, like we're happening in, say, get 1921. And I'm not using that stuff as like, hey, praise the, thank God that you're not millions of people aren't being drafted and getting on U1 boats and
Well, they didn't
having to
reinstate the draft.
having to use
Yeah, they
M1
just did.
grenades and everything. Is it the M1 grenade? What's the
M1 Garand.
Grand? Yeah, that's why I keep going.
Have you ever heard of the book The Fourth Turning?
Have not.
Okay, so it's a book about how all these things are cyclic. It's 4 generations. So you got 4 generations, takes up 80 years, each one comprised into 20-year increments. And it starts off, that, okay, you have a tough generation, just came out of war. So let's say we have a revolutionary war. 80 years from then, you get 4 generations who get softer and end up doing a lot of infighting via the Civil War. And then now we have the Civil War, then you have a tough generation, yada, yada, yada. Then we get a whole bunch of infighting again, and you have World War II 80 years later. 80 years ago was World War II is now. So it's almost like if you get time, look into it. But
I'll check it out, yeah.
The
You
Fourth
send me a
Turning
link.
is what it's called.
Yeah.
And it basically outlines how all this is cyclic and how we're basically going on our fourth turning. We've gone from revolutionary to civil to World War II, and now World War II to something else.
But I'm not so maybe this is the optimism in me, but I think because the world itself is a lot more connected, and through that, not just for the sake of empathy, because you got the idea of people protesting in Russia and droves where people thought that was absolutely not possible, and people, you have Americans and Koreans and Chinese and all that people around the world supporting what the citizens of what would be an adversary back in the Cold War, where everybody was demonizing those folks. People are a lot more empathetic to everybody else's struggles and problems and stuff like that, which I guess discouraging people to want to go into wars and all that kind of stuff. But also because the world is much more interconnected, global interests are a lot more. People are a lot more apprehensive to go into global conflict because of how destabilizing things are and everything. People thought I tell people, listen, the whole thing in Ukraine, you thought gas prices were up now. Imagine, where they go when, say, like I said, the stuff in, say, Afghanistan, Iran, or Saudi Arabia gets into an issue. If you think buying computer prices, because when Ukraine got into the conflict, the neon, which is a component in chips, went high. Imagine what happens if a conflict happened in Taiwan. Yep. And though I feel like that level of interconnectivity, I don't think it'll be the defining deterrent, but I think it serves as one. But
Yeah.
you're like I said, you're in the military. You're in the kind of
Yeah, well, there was a big move that was just made where, let's see, it was Russia, Brazil, India, China, Saudi Arabia, BRICS.
with the BRICS thing. Yeah.
They just cut out the U.S. dollar as a trading currency, so that's gonna even more put us down. I mean, our strategic petroleum reserves is already almost at an all-time low.
But they're fracking now, so we got our own. We have our own natural gas.
Now we do because the policies and the people want it.
But that's the reason that the geysers are
They're
popping off at
gamifying
the
it.
fucking
They're
yellow.
gamifying
Y'all, I'm not just saying that to be silly and to be able to interject, but I'm dead ass serious. All that fracking they're doing is like, if you don't think that's what's causing that fucking that
Yellowstone
caldera to start acting up,
yeah.
I'm sorry, but I mean we got to figure out another way. You know, what I mean, because I like my life and I want all I ever think about is like my kids, my grandkids, and so forth, like the future. And I don't think there's a lot of people thinking that far ahead. They're thinking about themselves. They're thinking about right now, and it's very selfish, you know. And that's just what I see. That's how what I see makes me feel.
Right.
I feel like people are being selfish. I feel like people are only thinking about what's happening right now, and they're not giving any kind of resolution to what could be happening in the future.
Something that a lot of people aren't thinking about as well is the birth rate. It's plummeting right now,
It is.
and I'm sorry, but in 50 years from now, we're going to see a lot of empty skyscrapers.
Yeah.
We're going to see a lot of jobs that used to be.
Well, I mean, there's a double down effect. I mean, it's expensive to have kids.
Yeah, it is.
A lot expensive.
Well, it's expensive to live.
And you know, yeah, it's expensive to live. It's expensive to have kids.
You can't even get your Tesla.
Listen, now
I'm really concerned about that.
the great pivot, because man, when I tell you I get that Tesla, bro, I'm gonna make I'm gonna get a Tesla. I'm gonna make everybody's life miserable. I'm gonna be driving around taking selfies with it.
Are you gonna make it dance?
I'll get some music because you can put the speakers on the outside.
No, but you know you can. There's a mode that you can actually make the car the lights go on and off, the doors open and shit.
Me and Pat, we're gonna do some joy rides.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
everything like
do
that.
some
I just
Yeah, you can do
want
some
to. Are you getting the S version?
I mean, I'm getting the Model S. Yeah.
Nice.
Are you gonna get the ludicrous mode and all that shit?
I'm not paying that extra $12,000 or whatever.
it's
for it.
$7,000.
Yeah,
Dang.
$7,000. Listen, so because you see me test driving them,
I just
and my
wanna-
dad's getting
I want
one.
to sit in the passenger seat when you punch the gas. I can't really say gas.
You want to test drive one with me?
No, I want you to get yours
Okay.
and then take me for a
I'll bring
ride.
so my parents got one. I'll bring one here.
Okay.
We'll ride it.
Yeah, I want to feel that. I want to get pushed back in my seat by a car with no engine.
Listen, okay, I driving one. They tell you. I get why it's. So you never.
It makes all cars look stupid.
Gentlemen, have any of y'all been to a Tesla dealership?
No,
Okay.
no.
So
I've ridden in it was a Ford F-150
the
e-truck.
Audi EV is great too, but so the way they do it is you sign the thing. You obviously, like, you test drive the car. They take a picture of your driver's license and everything like that, and then the guy talks to you about the car and everything like that. He gives you the little key card, which is a like a credit card, and then they say, okay, you can just take it, whatever. And they don't ride with you.
Yeah.
And
That
they say,
shit's tracked, bro.
and they say no, because
You ain't getting away with
because
that
how many
car.
times you gentlemen, we've bought cars and all that kind of stuff. They got the salesperson in the car telling you all about the features and everything like that, asking you about it, what do you feel, gaming you.
Oh, yeah.
Tesla's confident if once you drive it, you're sold.
Car sells
They
itself.
fucked me up. Sorry, so YouTube. They got
Dude,
me.
it's fine. Are
They
you
fucked
kidding
up.
me? How many times have I said that
They
word?
because I sat in this
Up.
thing and
A lot.
I'm like, and me and my dad were in this thing. It was like, oh, bro, they got you. They got, because one, it's like driving a golf cart. The only time you need to hit the brake is like if somebody is directly in front of you, because obviously the moment you take your foot off the pedal, it starts decelerating to almost to a complete stop. The pickup is notorious. You just zipping around and stuff like
That's what
that.
scares me the most.
If you need if there's a place you need to go, you're going to get there. It has. I know I'm going to get goofy and all that kind of stuff, but it has heat pump technology in the car, so it's the most easygoing, comfortable AC I have ever had in a vehicle. It's climate controlled all the way through. I'm nerding out about it. So I was just this thing. So that's when I was test driving the Model 3. I went and test drove the Model S. I was like, all right, this is what I'm getting. And the only reason why I didn't buy one that day is the guy said, hey, listen, because remember, we've already talked about my ex-fiance situation, whatever, credit and all that. So he said, hey, listen, there's something on your credit that doesn't drop off. You are 32 days too early. Wait till this is paid off. It's already paid off. Wait till this drops off, and then come by and revisit, because otherwise your interest rate wouldn't look silly. Then I had an issue with my car that the money I was going to pay for it that I had to, put into something else. So I said, I am going to solve my my bleeding income expenses out first. Then I'm going to get this thing and I'm going to soup it out. We're doing drives and stuff like that. It'll be less, I would say, cumbersome to come see you guys out here because I'm just going to ride out, and it's going to be a great time. So
Good, man.
I'm excited about that thing.
Yeah, they're cool cars. I don't think it's the answer to all cars. I think that they're going to come up with something better. Because,
Hydrogen.
Well, I mean, honestly, if you think about it, like this is the funniest thing I've seen. I'm sure you've seen it too. But it was a guy, the car like. It died.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was in the middle of like Arizona or something. You know, there's a stretch of road that there's nothing around.
Yeah,
and it died, and this motherfucker needed to get a ride to the gas station to fill up a gas pump.
Mm-hmm.
I mean a gas tank, so he could take it back to his car, where he had a diesel.
Yeah, the generator.
Generator in his trunk.
Yeah,
and I'm like, okay, but we still need gas. We still need to use the gas.
So
now I will say that I get if everybody's driving electric cars and it's less.
Yeah.
It's less of a footprint.
Well, okay, so the weird dichotomy with electric cars right now is that if talking about carbon footprint, currently right now it uses more of a carbon footprint to create and manufacture electric cars than it is without it because one the amount of electricity that runs to the plants and all that stuff, but also materials and the
lithium ion.
Now China, when China got his ass beat our asses, they're finishing the patent for calcium batteries, calcium technology batteries, right, which they're less environmentally hazardous, but they also hold more charge per cell. That are creating. Listen, if you looked up Chinese electric cars and everything like that,
they're freaking nice.
They're nice, bro. Listen. I get why they're legal because they would beat the hell out of the American market.
Well, I won't even get you guys started on the guys that created the hydrogen engines and that all
died
conveniently when they were getting ready to go to patent died or they were unalived. Weirdly and oddly, like every single one of them. I watched a documentary the other day. There was like 5 people that invented different engines that were hydrogen based. Like basically, it cost whatever a gallon of distilled water cost. That's how much it would cost to run your car for over a month. And all of them, not. There wasn't one that escaped.
Okay.
Every single one of them.
Yeah, send me that one. I'll check that out.
One of them died in a mass shooting in a grocery store.
Yeah.
The guy that was up
just happened to be there.
I think it was Baltimore in a grocery store, and some crazy guy came in there. He was one of them that died.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy, but we'll save that for the next podcast because I've got to go to the bathroom.
Yeah, we've already racked up some time.
2 hours,
And,
7 minutes.
That's it.
Yeah,
Gotcha. Well, anyway, listen. Thank you guys for having me up on the show. I
give
appreciate
everybody the socials for all the things and the dates
so,
again.
So you can follow me, Elliott, at E4Extra on Instagram, and also pretty much all of my socials and stuff like that now. And again, I was serious. If anybody who's been watching this podcast, I'd appreciate the Graybeard team for having me out here. But if you with the promo code Graybeard, it should be really easy because we got that on the screen. You get 20% off on your Jack's Fashion Experience ticket. Again, the Jack's Fashion Experience is going to be at the Casa Marina Hotel August 16th. I'm also celebrating my birthday there. With your ticket, you get a complimentary glass of champagne, access to the show. You're going to have live entertainment, live music by Kassan and Kinsey. They're both doing live musical performances there. Live fire spinning by the illustrious and excellent Tokyo Moreno. And then you're going to see all of our models from our different kinds of brands, from Travoski, Lucky Full, Nolani, The Label, Keeks Vintage, and many more. So I'm looking forward to seeing you all there. Hopefully, gentlemen, I would love for you guys to be out there. I got your tickets already on the app for me to get you out there.
Yo.
And again, shout out to Cameron and Jennifer for being great partners in this team, and also all of our models and all that I've already gave plenty of shout outs to. I appreciate you, love y'all, and definitely respect y'all. All right.
Good night, bitches.
Good night.
Love you. I'll see you next week.
Peace.
Peace.